Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Yo West. It's 1090J. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on YNW Melly cooperating in interrogation. October 19th, 2015. The Vero Beach Police Department received a call for a group of teens gathering outside of a restaurant in the Vero Beach High. Shortly after, a single gunshot went off. The school, which just dismissed its students 15 minutes prior to the shooting, was placed on lockdown as officers arrived on scene. 3 witnesses would identify a then 16-year-old Jamel Demons, who was more commonly known as YNW Melly. They'd say Melly fired the gun at them, none of them were hit. Still missing, Melly would post to his own Facebook a news report that shots fired placed his high school on lockdown, writing, "Oh." It was roughly 2 hours later when police would announce they had Melly in custody after finding him in a nearby apartment building under a bed. Fast forward to June of 2023, Melly is beginning his second week at trial for the murder of his 2 friends, and an 8-year-old interrogation video of Melly just dropped. The interrogation itself is from the day of the shooting, and Melly can be seen being questioned by 2 detectives about what took place, as he hilariously tells detectives to tell him what they know first.
Talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. You understand that? If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish one. You understand that? Okay. Now that you know that, you want to talk to me about what happened today? That's not the way it works, brother. Obviously, no. I mean, we wouldn't be talking to you if we didn't know what happened. But I need you to tell me the honest truth. I'm here to help you, believe it or not. I know you don't believe me, but what happened?
Melly would say they'd been messing with him and spotted him by the Plum Tomato restaurant as he was going to get his food. He'd say it was a total of 8 people and someone pulled a gun out, so he ran to the blue apartments he'd later be found hiding in. When asked who pulled the gun, Melly initially said, "I don't know." But when the detective asked if he shot in self-defense, Melly became more cooperative and even gave a name.
If you shot in self-defense or something, you need to let us know. What happened? What kind of gun was it? Now you know it's a 38. How close?
While Melly was asked for the street name of who pulled the gun, Melly gave the teen's last name, Gillespie. He was referring to Quintravious Gillespie, a then 17-year-old who went by the name Vontae. Melly would initially say he ran away when Vontae aimed the gun at him. Repeatedly being questioned about where the gun is, the detective would ask if Melly's worried about getting someone else in trouble, alluding that someone may have hidden the gun from Melly.
More financially accessible because there are different tiers that you can subscribe to.
Melly would change his initial story, now saying Vontae tried to shoot him, and when Vontae pulled the gun, he snatched it. But knowing they had more guns, he ran to the apartments before firing off a shot. That's when Melly clarified to detectives he had no gun of his own, that he in fact fired the gun he took from Vontae. Detectives would then ask after he fired, what did he do with the gun? And Melly would say he threw the gun back over to the area the group was, when one of them picked it back up, later naming Vontae as the one who grabbed it. Detectives didn't believe him, and Melly, who felt he may face more charges if he gave up the location of the gun, eventually did tell detectives where he hid it, according to news reports from the following day. Melly would be charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a firearm in public. Portland would post a picture of Melly to Facebook the same day, saying slick ass, and Melly would later be sentenced to a juvenile program. As for Vontae, an FDLE search would show Vontae was arrested that same day, but for trespassing and violating his probation. It's unclear if Melly's statement played a role in his arrest, as Melly placed him at the scene, but then again, it's alleged that Vontae was one of the 3 witnesses who told police Melly fired a gun at them. While definitely cooperating, it's in the air as to if Melly actually snitched, as many have their own opinion on what snitching actually is. Melly's former associate Jay Green gave a full interview with the police in a separate incident where he identified a man who fired a shot in the air after someone threw a bottle at his car. That man would later be sentenced to prison for firing the gun, but Jay Green claims he didn't snitch. Boston Richie would give homicide investigators a football team of names in one case and get 2 people arrested in another case, but he claims he didn't snitch. And the only argument Melly could make is self-defense. And in a self-defense case, you have to admit what happened. Unfortunately, if the other person isn't dead, you have to tell police what they did to make you fear for your life, which could result in them being charged with the crime. In Melly's case, it's unclear if detectives even believed his self-defense story, and Vontae was never charged with anything Melly actually said, but at the same time, Melly could have told that same story without actually giving up any names. Now with this one, I had to look into it, right? I had to find out if the name Melly gave was a real person, because people will give all type of names and then try to say that they were fake names. The name he gave was real. The police asked him, who pulled the gun? What's his name? What's his street name? Melly gives him his last name. Identifies the person, right? Melly cooperated 100%. He fucked up when he gave him that name. Because cooperation is as simple as you get pulled over, license and registration, and you give it to them. You're cooperating. They're asking him questions, he's answering. But when he said that name, when he said, this is the person who pulled the gun out on me, this is the person who went and picked the gun up after, even if the shit didn't happen, if he had got charges put on him, you did that. But he didn't get charges put on him. You still could have told the story without giving his name. And the fact that he gave that name isn't going to change shit. Isn't going to change nothing, because I be exposing motherfuckers left and right. Paperwork, interrogation videos, and nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? QCP, he was just hanging out with Gucci at Rick Ross's shit or whatever car show they were just at. You know what I'm saying? Boston Richie, fucking Jay Green, fucking, I can show y'all everything. People are still like, nah, I don't think he snitched. Nah, he didn't snitch on me. So what do I think about this Melly shit? He shouldn't have gave that fucking name. He fucked up. Is it going to affect him in any way, shape, or form? No, because people are going to say he was 16 years old. He wasn't affiliated with nobody. This, that, and the third, he took the charge. He did all the time. The other kid didn't get arrested for it, whatever. That kid got booked for trespassing. Apparently, he didn't even go to that school, but he showed up to start some shit while he was on probation, and then allegedly tells the police, hey, Melly just shot at me. Yeah, well, why'd he shoot at you? Well, we were over here trying to beat his ass, and he shot at me. All right, well, now you're under arrest. You know what I'm saying? That's more or less how they're trying to spin the story, that this kid got himself booked, and it wasn't nothing that Melly actually said, but it doesn't fucking matter. Melly shouldn't have gave that name. Now, only very few people are going to hold this against him. One of them may be Boosie, who actually helped put Melly's defense team together and showed up to one of Melly's trial dates. Now Boosie is in federal custody, so he most likely isn't going to say anything about the situation. And it's unfortunate that Melly doesn't even have any privileges inside of jail to where he can make a phone call and speak out of the situation himself. Because 9 times out of 9, if he's able to say something and motherfuckers is like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I would have did that too, nobody's going to care. That happens with damn near everybody that either paperwork or an interrogation video drops on. Does what he did violate code? You're not supposed to give a name, bro. At the end of the day, you can't show no favoritism. But let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. Until next time.
Yo, it's your boy Marita Boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. I'ma give a shout out to my moderators, Dream Doll, Sophisticated Nunu, Battalion, Bully, the Chicks 1000, aka Chick 1K, Flyboy Michael 4, Tanel Bowens. Also shout out to my guy Audio Crack 22. Also shout out to my guy Spoonfuls of Gang. Go subscribe to that on YouTube. That's YW Juvie's father channel. My boy is Jazz on the cusp of getting monetized. Thanks to you guys. He says his love. He appreciates y'all support. Also shout out Unspoken Crime Mysteries or Unspoken Crime Murders. My boy got 2 channels. That's why I always say both names. Shout out to John Doe TV. Shout out to Mansell TV. Shout out to Old School Hemi. Listen, check this out, man. This I be trying to explain to y'all, man. I'm gonna even give a shout out to 1090 Jake, man. This is 1090 Jake video, man. He dropped it. One thing about 1090 Jake, when he co-sign or when he do his researching, his word does mean something in this arena, and I'm glad that he did a video on this. I know he's affiliated with some of the people that's close to Melly, so I know it probably wasn't an easy video for him to do, being that you know, he's pretty close with some of the people that close with Melly. But at the same time, I will say I like the fact that his integrity showed in this video, and he went on and did the video anyway, and I appreciate that. So shout out to 1090 Jake for that. Shout out to DJ Academics. He's still showing our video, our content on his platform, which is a form of an alley-oop. I appreciate that. I appreciate the exposure for that. Laws of Power say all publicity is good publicity. It's bringing a light to the channel, so more people could know about the channel and subscribe to the channel. So I appreciate that. Spoon, he got us on some big things coming down the pipe. Y'all just lay around for it. You know, my boy, he went viral the other day on the Law and Crime Network. He also went viral with DJ Academic, and he's gonna be going viral a lot of more times with the things that he got coming up. And I would like to say, rest in heaven to Sack Chaser, Anthony Williams. Rest in heaven to Juvie, Christopher Thomas Jr. My condolences to the families. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into it. So that's why I be trying to explain to some people, man. But some people be so hard-headed, man. Some people don't be understand. They don't be want to listen, and they don't be want to hear it from shout out to you, B Dash. He said, I hope he show up front row in the trial. Yeah, he'll be at the trial this week, y'all. He'll be there this week. So I be trying to explain stuff to people, man. I told y'all, man, like, you know, I understand people don't. They like to hear shit from certain people, and certain people word carry more value to them than others. But I told y'all when this video first broke and I streamed it from Unspoken Crime Mysteries channel, I told y'all he snitched. It was people in my comment section telling me, I ain't hear he snitched. I ain't your way snitched that. Well, here you go, motherfucker. Here you go. 1090 Jake just told you snitch. You just played it. He said the same thing I said. I try to explain to people, but at the same time, I also, but my underlying sentiment on this channel, I keep trying to tell these people is I want these young brothers or sisters or whoever to get out the streets, man, because it ends bad. And the streets is a myth. The code is bullshit. Like 1090 Jake just broke it down to y'all. He just told y'all that all these people snitch. He just told y'all you got Boosie who hate rats. But he had court supporting the rat. You got QCP, you got Gucci Man who hate rats, but QCP is a documented snitch. He documented. They got the paperwork. They got everything. P was trying to snitch and kill the nigga he wanted to snitch on at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a video on that. Boston Richie. People still support Boston Richie. Hell, Gucci Man snitched on Jeezy when they was beefing. It's a video about that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he told the people who sent the people to kill him. Like it's an actual video of it. Like that's why I be trying to explain to people like the streets is a myth. Like what are you dying for, young black men? What are you dying for? What are you upholding? Here go we got YNW Melly, the same dude that's running around trying to pay people not to snitch on him, but he a fucking snitch. You see what I keep trying to tell y'all? I told y'all the big drug dealers, the big bosses, all of them most likely snitch or most likely be working with the police or will work with the police in order to get out their situation. I told y'all El Chapo was the biggest drug dealer in the world. El Chapo been working with DEA and telling on his competition. I told y'all this. Y'all got to listen to me. Take it from somebody who been in there. I'm telling you, I don't even want to say too much, dog, but I'm trying to tell you, I done seen it, bro. I done seen it, bro. It's not what you think, bro. It's gonna all end bad. Look, and we living in the internet age. Y'all getting a chance to see y'all these people snitch. Y'all, you got the video right there. YNW Melly snitching still was people in my comments telling me, oh, he ain't snitched. Well, there you go, motherfucker. 1090 Jake just co-signed it. And he ain't the only one co-signed it. There's other platforms that's running with this. This video's been going viral. Thank God that we was one of the first people to bring this video to y'all, but we wasn't actually the first, but we was in the first 5 to bring this to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who was on this bandwagon, who put this video out. Because I'm not doing this video to bash Melly. I'm doing this video for to shed light on the hypocrisy, shed light to these young brothers, sisters, whoever out there in the streets, to show them really what the play is, man. Show them really what the play is. This man ain't no different than 6ix9ine. This man ain't no different than other. I'm gonna tell you another thing. It's a nigga Snoop Dogg snitched back in the days. Like it's a lot of people that's untold, man. It's a lot of people that's untold. That's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Like, bro, get out the streets. What are you upholding? The best thing you can do in life, trust me, for taking from somebody who's been in the streets, is you can be legit, a law-abiding citizen with with gun license. Nobody want to mess with you. Who gonna go to war with you? You register to kill. You can tell the police what you want to tell them. It won't be no snitch because you're a law-abiding citizen. Nobody gonna bother you. You can tote your fire and not go to jail. I'm telling you, I done been in the streets. You know who a killer is afraid of? Them killers in the streets, them ones that's spinning and doing all that shit. You know who they're afraid of? A law-abiding citizen with a concealed carry permit. That's who they scared of. I'm telling you, I done seen them. I know dudes that's really like that. And we got people that we know that never been to jail, but they like affiliated. They grew up in the hood, but they just never did nothing. But they went on and got their concealed carry permit and they live a law-abiding citizen life. Man, them killers don't want no problems with them. I'm telling you, a killer don't want no problem with no law-abiding citizen who registered to carry. Trust me when I'm telling you, that's the best person to be in this world. You can walk through any door. You feel me? A killer don't want no problem, nigga. You got your scrap on your side, nigga. What they gonna do? They gonna go to war with you? Man, you gonna kill them and they gonna do now day. Police gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because you ain't never been to jail or never got no felonies. That killer, by the way, he got 6 felonies. So they gonna automatically assume he was on some bullshit. I'm telling you, the best person to be. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you because I've been around enough to see the good, the bad, and what should have been, what I should have did, and what I shouldn't have did. And I'm telling those of you who still got an opportunity to do these things or not do these things before it's too late, bro. Don't die out there for nothing, bro. Oh, I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Now I wonder how Boosie feeling. Because you know he hate rats. Hold on, but I take it a step further than that. The same person, Boosie, not the bashing, but I'm just showing you the hypocrisy. That's what I keep trying to tell y'all. The code is a manipulation tool used by dudes to manipulate others, bro. I'm telling you, it's a manipulation tool. If you slow enough listen, if you slow enough to get manipulated, because and I was that way at one point. I was a young dude coming into the streets, and I was indoctrined with this same ideology. You feel what I'm saying? And it's still in me to a certain extent. Like I still won't tell on, like I still won't tell, like, and it's bad because really I'm a law-abiding citizen. Really, I'm not in the streets no more. But I still got it in me so bad, so I just be like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. But it's used to manipulate those who can be manipulated, because it's those of us, it's people that's been in the game, and then they try to protect what they got going on, which is cool. I understand it. I get it. But what I'm saying is, when it come down to it, they won't even abide by the same rules they trying to get you to abide by. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, it ain't no rules. QCP exposed that in his situation. QC, if y'all don't know the situation with QCP, former owner of Quality Control, Lil Baby, them management team, and all of that, right? QCP was selling pounds or weed. I ain't gonna say pounds. He was selling weed at a trap before the fame with one of his partners. A dude came up, asked him for where his partner was at. He said, his partner ain't here, you got to come back, one partner here. When the partner came back, the dude came back. The dude, make a long story short, the dude killed P partner and tried to rob them. I don't know if he actually got away with something, and he shot P. P went to the neighbor's house, called the police, and told the police what happened, right? So after that, the dude got away. After that, P went to keeping his ear to the streets and tried to find out who the dude was. P went to telling the police every bit of information that he found, what the dude was, who he was. He went to relaying that to the police. Like, hey, yeah, I heard it was this dude. He be over here in such projects, yada, 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 yada. So in the process of that, P see the dude at the mall. His homeboy's like, hey, man, that's the dude that killed your friend, and that's the dude that shot you. So Pina ran down on the dude. So when Pina ran down on the dude ran to his car, got his strap, and chased Pina back into the mall. When Pina go back into the mall, they call the police again. The COP, big little baby partner, you know what I'm talking about? All of that right there. He called the police again. He tell the police, hey, man, this guy right here just chased us in here with a gun. He killed my friend. He shot me. Yada, yada this, yada, yada that, right? So the dude ended up, I don't know if he got caught right there, but the dude ended up having a warrant or some shit like that for possession of a firearm, yada, yada this, yada, that. So later on, fast forward, the dude ended up going to the club and getting shot at the club. P find out the dude got shot at the club. P called the police again and tell the police, hey, man, if you go to the hospital, the guy such is the same guy that killed my friend. He the same guy that shot me. He the same guy that ran down on me at the mall. If you get him right now, if you save his life, you can arrest him for murder. They went to the hospital, got the guy, arrested the guy. They ended up dropping the murder charge because I think P wouldn't testify on him against the murder, but he did get the gun charge, and the dude got some time for the gun charge. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all, bro. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. This hypocrisy. DNP got the nerve to get on the social media and address the whole situation and basically say he don't give a fuck what y'all think that he motherfucking told on the dude. Fuck y'all. He just made a $300 million deal, and it's hate. You see how motherfucker try to justify the shit? But before the news came out, he would have told you he hates snitches. I hate rats. I hate snitches. But you a fucking rat yourself. I'm trying to explain this to you, young black brothers, you young sisters, whoever y'all is who out there in the streets, who doing what you're doing. I'm telling you what this shit is, bro. Trust me when I'm telling you. And another thing, the real world, the street rules do not apply to the real world. Take case in point. Get you a job, right? Go get you a job. And then work your way up and become a manager or supervisor or something like this here, right? So you ain't got to tell on the employees who's stealing. You don't got to tell on the employees who not doing their work. You don't got to tell on the people who stealing out the place of business. Like, you don't like what I'm saying. That's what I realized when I started working, when I started becoming legit. I realize that the street rules only apply to a small portion of society. It does not apply to the overall bigger group of society. It doesn't. It doesn't. When I tell you what, I taught my kids to tell. You know why I taught my kids to tell when they was little? Because I wanted to know if somebody was touching on them. I wanted to know if somebody did something to them. I taught my children to tell it all. I want to know. You feel me? I'm telling you. So I'm keep trying to explain this to y'all for somebody who God blessed to be able to go through that hell and make it out on the other side. I feel like I'm paying it forward by enlightening some people because didn't nobody tell me. Like didn't nobody tell me. Like it was all around me. So I was in it. I was born in it. I was influenced by it. This is what it is. Even now, I've got people in my family right now that may not agree with the message that I'm saying. But I don't care if they don't agree because I understand that they sleep. I understand that they brainwashed. And if they live long enough, they'll understand this. When you get in a say you selling quads or quarters of loud. You ride around in your car selling quads or loud or something right there. You get into a fender bender with somebody. Don't you call the police and tell the police, yeah, man, they ran a light, they hit me. That's snitching. Hold on. Let me tell you what 1090 Jake just exposed that snitching is. And I ain't even think about this. Bombshell, plot twist. If you go if you shoot somebody and you try to claim self-defense, you have to tell. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Do y'all see all these gray areas? Do you see all these situations where you gonna be a hypocrite? He said that if you go to jail and you claim self-defense, you actually have to tell what the other person did in order for you to get self-defense. He's right. He's 100% right. If I shoot somebody for stand your ground, I got to tell them. Just say I'm in the streets though. Say I'm selling crack or something, and a guy come up to me and try to kill me. I get the ups on him. I end up shooting him. I end up killing him. I tell the police like, what happened? Hey man, the dude draw a gun on me. Same thing like Melly just did. Dude drew a gun on me. He shot at me. I ran behind the building and then I ended up getting my gun and I came back and I shot him. You know what I'm saying? You had to tell what happened. Even in the stand your ground, you are telling. You are telling. Like I ain't even think about that. You see what I'm saying? Like, listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. I'm telling you, I'm trying to save as many of y'all as I can. I'm trying to save as many of y'all as I can. Shout out Fort Pierce in this bitch, Avenue D. Yo. Yeah, I'm trying to save as many of y'all as I can, man. For real, man. For real, bro. Listen to me now. I wouldn't tell you nothing wrong, bro. I ain't the type of person that'll do some shit like that. If you listen to my channel long enough, you'll understand where I'm coming from. I got children, bro. I'm too grown for that shit now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here reporting back to try to save some of your babies. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know them kids. I don't even know them, but I know you love them. I know y'all. I know they y'all babies. And I look at all these children like I would look at my own. That's why I feel so much for Spoon. You feel me? On top of the fact that he my friend, but at the same time, I never met Juvie. You feel me? I never met Juvie, but at the same time, I can still empathize and have compassion with him because he's a parent, and I would do the same for y'all. I be watching these situations on the news or on social media or on YouTube, and I see how people have lost their babies and shit like that. And I be like, damn, dog, that's somebody's baby, and they gone forever. Like they never coming back. Like people don't seem to understand that when you dead, as far as I know, you never coming back. Like you gone forever. Like I think that's worth fighting for. I think lives is worth fighting for, you know, like especially being that all we know, we never come back here, unless you believe in reincarnation. Here you might get reincarnated into a cat or or ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you never gonna come back as that person who you left your ass. So and then when you're not here, it's pain and hurt that affects your parents, your family forever. Know what I'm saying? Like Spoon never gonna totally heal from the loss of his son. I'm gonna take it a step further than that. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna even play devil's advocate here. Say, which I think gonna happen. Say Melly lose his freedom and his life, right? His mama that's gonna bother his mama for the rest of her life. His brother, his uncle. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. That's why we got to try to stop this cycle as best we can. Because, and I know it's hard. I know it's a lot, but you got to try. That's how I figure. If I could save one person, if I could save one of y'all babies or save somebody's life, then it's worth it. Because that life is precious. Like if I could save one person by just talking or awareness or something like that, then man, I think I did a great service to humanity. You feel me? Like, yeah, we can make YouTube videos, yada yada this, and you know what I mean. Of course, we're gonna talk about hot topics and all of that, but always my underlying sentiment on this channel gonna be get out the streets, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Jump on YouTube with me. You know what I'm saying? Tell the story, tell some of these stories. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like it's ways to do it. Like if y'all ain't even if like they not even peeping the play. That's the thing. That rap bandwagon been sale. Like I told you, I used to rap. That bandwagon been sale. That ain't the lick no more. Ain't nobody like listen, like they still those of them who still trying to be rappers, they missing the boat. The boat is the YouTube boat. The boat is the content creator boat. Because when you create content, that shit gonna pay you forever. These videos gonna be up on this platform as long as YouTube is around. Why you think people can't cancel Vlad? Because Vlad ain't got to make now another video for the rest of his life, and them videos gonna still make him revenue every month. I'm giving you the game. I seen Aunt Glizzy say he made $100,000 off YouTube in a matter of months. He showed the money. He said he may not never make another rap song in his life. I seen Say Cheese. Did you see Say Cheese say he getting out of the uh managing rappers and all of that business because it's hit or miss. You can invest a lot of money in rappers and they don't blow. But he said he is straight content creating. Y'all better peep the play. Why you got Terrence Gangster Williams, who definitely told too, but he on YouTube just got 100,000 subscribers. Shout out to him. This is the game. This is the game. This is the game. This is the game. TikTok, Instagram, none of that shit don't pay like this. Why you think DJ Academic is so powerful? DJ Academic got a deal with Rumble. He screened across all platforms. He got about 4 or 5 YouTube channels. He making bank more than your favorite rapper. And his content constantly making him money. Get out the streets, young black man, young men, young women. Get out the streets. Jump on this YouTube bandwagon. Tell your story. Look at 1090 Jake. He went from being an inmate in prison to he's one of the biggest YouTubers out there right now. I watched him grow up. He was telling blow up. He was telling prison stories. I used to watch the prison stories. And now it's done evolved into he the paperwork king. Peep the play. He's making more money than he ever made in the streets. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. You get in the game. This is the game. Soak it up. If you was in the streets, if you in the streets right now, I want you to hang it up. I want you to get off them streets, get you a computer, get you a phone, and get on YouTube. Don't be dissing no ops and all of that, and tell the story. Whatever your story is, tell it. You know what I'm saying? Tell it, but put a positive spin on it. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and there you go. There you go. Like, golly. I keep like, and I'm just trying to save some people, bro. I'm just trying to save some people, bro. Cause I got children, bro. I don't want your children out there shooting at my children. I don't want my children out there shooting at your children. I don't want your children to get hit by a stray bullet or vice versa. These kids is lost, man. They need some direction, bro. And I'm gonna say this too. Who better to reach them than somebody that was in the streets already? Sometimes they don't relate to people who can't relate to them or who they can't relate to. So sometimes they need people like us in order to reach them because we can say it to them in a way that they can understand it. That's why, I don't know if you're religious or whatever, but I'm gonna say this. Why you think Jesus had certain type of people around him? He had murderers, prostitutes. Those were his disciples. He didn't have all the uppity people who was perfect and all of that. He had the people who had been through something. You know why? Because most people done been through something. Most people ain't squeaky clean. Most people ain't you know, squeaky clean. Most people gonna relate to people who done been through what they done been through. I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. I mean, I do this like this because that's what my heart tell me to do. You know, that's what my heart tell me to do. You know, I cannot, I will not lead your babies to destruction. I will not. I will not do it. I know everybody can't be saved. I know some people ain't gonna make it. I know the world gonna keep going around and these things are gonna happen. But some people do listen. Some people you can save. Some people you will be able to save by talking to them. Some people ain't. Some people learn from others' mistakes and not their own. That what they say a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others' mistakes. Some people are like that. I know guys that grew up in the hood with us in the belly of the beast, had humble beginnings, had the same bad upbringing we did, and they didn't get into none of that, or they did get into it, but they changed their ways and they successful now. I got partners that's in the NFL. My cousin played pro basketball. He grew up right around with us and all that type of stuff. I'm just saying, so it is people that you can talk to or that can see the negative, and they are not, they for some reason they got the ability to not to follow and be led astray, and they go on and they know their path, and they learn from watching the mistakes of others and they make it, you know. But I'm saying some people they need to hear it, or some people you might have to walk them through it, you know. But I'm just saying, no matter what we gotta do, being that ain't no reruns in life, ain't no rewind button. Uh, I think it's all worth it, you know. Look at me, I'm just sitting here making a YouTube video. If somebody can hear this video wailing Australia, way in Estonia, way in South America, way in Canada, way on the West Coast, way up in New York, way deep down in the South. If somebody can hear this video and be like, man, you know what, man, I like Marita Boy, man. What he's saying, right, man. I ain't finna go out there and do that shit what we have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's a blessing. That's a good thing. I did a good deed. I did something great. Probably one of the greatest things in my life if I could save one person's life. You know, have y'all ever seen that movie Boys in the Hood? You know, with Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen that movie. A lot of us need to be more like Trey than like Ice Cube, Doughboy. Do y'all remember when they was going to kill the guys who killed Ricky? Now Ricky was Trey's best friend. But when he got in that car to go kill them dudes, it was like he was thinking to himself. He was thinking like, man, I'm mad they killed my friend. I'm finna go kill these dudes. Even though he knew within in his heart, that he wasn't like that. He didn't want to be like that. But he realized they killed my friend. I'm mad. I don't care. I'm finna throw everything away because they took my friend and he never coming back. He never did nothing to nobody. And they just did him like that. Nah, man, I'm finna go do this. I'm finna go kill these niggas. But do you see what happened? What y'all gotta pay attention to that movie. What happened in that movie was powerful. At that scene where he told him, let me out this car. He said, let me out this car. Now, do you like that happens to a lot of us, but a lot of us don't make that decision to get out the car. We feel like we gonna be soft. We feel like we gonna be called pussy. We excuse me for saying that, but I'm just saying it how they say it. They feel like we gonna be pussy. They feel like we ain't real if we don't go spin the block because the ops killed our homeboy. But really what Trey did was the right thing. You feel me? He got out that car because he realized that this gonna continue the cycle. This gonna destroy my life. Once he would have pulled that trigger and killed them boys for killing his friend, he was never gonna be the same. He was never gonna be the same after that. And that happens to a lot of y'all. Because I never killed nobody. I'm just saying those who did it. They're never the same once they do that. Trust me, I know people who like that, and they all tell me they have bad dreams. All of them. They say the people who they did that shit to come back and haunt them in their dreams. It's a form of PTSD. They're never the same no more. They feel guilty and all. A lot of them feel bad, and they feel like they was in the right at the time, but they be peer pressured into it. They don't want to be considered soft. They make the hood feel like they got to do something about it, but you really don't. You really don't. You're really killing yourself. You really destroying it's like these boys now. They mad at themselves. It's like it's genocide. It's like it's genocide. I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick here. My brother got killed in 1996. My older brother, he was 21 years old. I was like 14 years old. I had just jumped out the porch. This is right after I came from Wabasso down there with Chris and them. This is right after. This is when I started hustling in Orlando, right? My brother got killed. My brother Ricky, my older brother, my daddy's son. He ended up going to the club and he stepped on the dude's shoes. True story. I was gonna tell you the story in story time one day. He stepped on this dude's shoes and well, that's the story. He stepped on the dude's shoes and my brother was my brother wasn't soft, put it that way. He was hell. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was hell. Like he'll fight, he'll shoot, he do all of that. He was wild, he was the wildest of us. Of my father's kids, he definitely was the wildest one. And after the club, everybody go to the gas station or whatever. The dude they say he stepped on the shoes. The dude shot him in the back like 4 or 5 times, something like that. Killed him right there. Killed him. And it was like a big blow to like my neighborhood, a big blow. Like everybody was sad. Like my brother's funeral is one of the funerals that is remembered in the hood. Like everybody still remembers my brother's funeral, remembers my brother. Like it was like one of those type of situations. So but here I am, 14 years old, just jumped off the porch, so to speak. Well, not just jumped off the porch, but kind of like did, kind of sort of. Like in the big boy leagues. And it was pressure on me, like to want to go find the guy or do something to the guy who did that to my brother. Now it wasn't pressure coming from anybody particular, but it was pressure in my mind. It was pressure because I knew what I was told that you're supposed to do in the streets. When somebody do something to your family, do something to you, or do something to your loved ones or your homeboys. Now, nobody came and told me like, hey, look, man, you need to go spin for your brother. But in my mind, I felt like I should. Now, I don't know where this guy at. I don't know where to look for this guy at. I don't got no car, none of this. I'm just a young 14-year-old kid, that just kind of got into the streets. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, I have to go kill this guy because this guy killed my brother, and I know this is what required of me, and I can't be around here like this, and I don't do nothing for my brother. Like that's what was in my mind. Now I understand this now. Nobody told me this. Nobody pressured me. Nobody said none of this. But in my mind, I just felt like that's what I'm supposed to do because I know what dudes do when dudes do stuff like this to their people. You see what I'm saying? I was bringing the pressure on myself. Nobody on the outside looking in. Some people, most people probably looking at me like, bro, you're a 14-year-old kid. You cool. But in my mind, I'm thinking, nah, I gotta kill this nigga. Did I want to do it? No, I didn't. But then part of me did. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think deep down I didn't. But I think I felt obligated to. But nothing ever happened or whatever. The dude ended up turning himself into jail like 2 days later. He ended up doing he caught 20 years. He actually out of jail now. I looked him up a while back. He out of jail now. He actually been out of jail for a while. Probably been out of jail about 10 years now. What's it, 96, 2006, 2016. So yeah, he been out a little while now. It's 2016. He did, yeah. So he probably been out about 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? But I just said all that to say this, man. I'm just trying to explain to y'all like what Trey did on Boys in the Hood, getting out that car. That was powerful. But a lot of us don't get out the car. A lot of us don't get out the car because peer pressure, because of what we think we're supposed to be doing, because of the way we think we're going to be looked upon, because of pride, anger, ignorance, peer pressure, all of that shit, man. Like, bro, I hate to tell y'all this, I'm gonna be real with you. That's what the police for, man. Like, did you listen? You ain't got to be the police. Like, I'm gonna say this: you don't got to be the police. Just sit back and let them do their job. Let them do their job. Just like Spoon say, the police gonna spin the block for Juvie. And Sack Chaser, Chris and Anthony. The police gonna Christine them spinning the block for them. Yeah, they spinning it. Let them spin it. They ain't gonna go to jail for spinning it. They gonna get the people and all of that. You ain't even got to help them do it. They gonna do it on their own. So if you don't want to be no snitch, just what I'm saying is don't throw your life away. Don't throw your life away. The cycle continues. It's gonna keep continuing. That's why we in the mess we in now. That's why it's so many. That's why I'm gonna kill you go kill an op. Then the op come back and kill your friend. Then the op brother who you killed, he was 10 at the time, but he remembered the dudes across the street, down the street, killed his brother. So when he grow up, he hate all the guys across the street. So he war with other guys across the street. He don't even know, he never even got into it with those guys at all. All he knows is the guy from Polk Street killed his brother back in 10 years ago when he was in elementary school. So he hate the guys from Polk Street now. And the cycle keep continuing. And then what we have is a bunch of our babies dying young. Man, I told my son, I said, bro, let me tell you something. Boy, I ain't raised you and spend all the time coaching you and supporting you and loving you for you to go out there and be in the streets. Me or your mama ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't do all that for that. You feel me? Hell no. Hell no. Like for real. Like, and that's what I'm saying. These kids were good kids at one point in time, man. They was like if you take them back to 5 years old and you put them, I tell you what you do. If you are op, right? Take your children and take them to the park and let them play with the op children. See what they do. They gonna play. They fucking kids. They gonna play. You take them at 3, 4, 5 years old, they gonna play. That other shit be taught to them. You got to stop teaching them kids this shit, man. Stop indoctrinating them kids with this shit. Let it be over because you're gonna hurt when you lose your child. See, that's another thing I be seeing. It's cool, everybody want to spin, right? Until they lose one of their members or they lose one of their friends and they crying. All of them crying, all of them sad. They say when T-Roy died, Cleveland cried like a baby. He said that. Cried like a baby in his cell. Now, this is the same dude that be laughing or was laughing when he was getting ops out the way, but he cried when one of his boys died. See, people don't understand that shit be reciprocal. That shit come back. If you don't want to lose one of your boys, get out the shit and stop taking their boys. Move away. Listen, let me tell y'all something too. It's okay to move. What the dude told Denzel Washington on American Gangster, the Asian dude, he said quitting while you're ahead is not the same as quitting. Move, bro. Move. Get out the whole situation. I don't live in Orlando right now. You know what I mean? I tell people I'm in Orlando, but I'm not in Orlando. You feel me? I just came from Indianapolis. I was up there 2 years. When you get out the way, when you move, when you get out the way, it lessens your chances of getting into shit. When I went to Indianapolis, I ain't bother nobody. None of bother them, don't bother me either. You know why? Because don't nobody know me. I can reinvent myself. I can be whoever I want to be. I could work at McDonald's. No, I didn't work at McDonald's, but I'm saying I could work at McDonald's if I want to. I could work landscaping if I want to. I could do all the stuff that you are ashamed of doing because people know you, where you from. When you move away, you can reinvent yourself. Don't nobody know you. So it ain't no sense of, oh, I got to look this type of way or be this type of person. And it's less likely for you to get into some shit if you stay away from that element when you get to your new place. And you most likely you will because you don't know nobody to go that way with. When I got in Indianapolis, I purposely did not fuck with nobody who was doing the shit that I used to do when I was in Orlando. Why? I'm trying to get away from that shit. Man, I was up there living just a nice, normal, clean life, just living. It was much less stressful. You know what I mean? Like, I felt free. I finally felt free. So if you're in a certain situation, it's up where you from or where you live at, man, move. I'm telling you, you can make it anywhere. Trust me. That's what I learned. You can make it anywhere, bro. Get you a little job. Jump your ass on Indeed. Get you a little job. All you really need is to know 1 or 2 family members. I ain't have no family in Indianapolis, but I'm just trying to show you, like, I'm just saying, most likely 1 or 2 family members. You can even apply for a job before you get somewhere. If you got a car, you can Uber and you Uber a Lyft. Wherever you go at, you can Uber a Lyft down. So you can be making instant money as soon as you touch down in the city. Wherever you go. I'm just trying to show you ways that you can survive. I'm gonna open the floor up so people can talk, man. I'm gonna drop the link, man. I know I ran off a little bit, but it was just flowing at me today. I'm gonna drop the link. So if y'all want to come up, there go the link. Tanel, you want to hit the link? I know you got something to say. Shout out to KL1K. Shout out, it's Aaron's way. Shout out to Kenny. I love you, Kenny. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Kenny got a good soul, man. She got a good heart, man. I don't care what nobody say. I can see it. I'm the type of person. I guess you might call me an empath, but I can see it. Shout out to Raw Nature. I see you. You see, I gave Estonia a shout out. Shout out to John Told TV. Say you made me cry telling us about your baby and your situation. You too good of a guy, man. I listen, man. I appreciate you, man. I listen. One thing I tell you, bro, I don't tell very many lies. I lie to the judge, women, police, and my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, I just tell y'all the truth. Because if I die, then y'all got the stories, bro. That's how I be looking at it. If I die, y'all got these stories. Y'all got them. They here. They for y'all. And my children, they can always come on here and hear them. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Chris Clancy say 2010 say that's why I appreciate you, Marita. Empathy, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hey, Tanel, how you? Tanel, Tanel, you can hear me, Tanel? That's my
How you
girl there,
doing
Chanel.
today?
Chanel, how you doing today?
Hello, can you hear me? Man, sitting up here doing my hair,
Yeah, I
but
can
I'm
hear you. You can
good.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay, what you
Uh-huh.
got to say? Go ahead.
I mean, what more can I say to that? Like for real.
I know I was going off, man. It just was flowing at me, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, everything you
That's
said was
how
real.
that's how I really feel, though. You know?
Yeah, I mean, can't do nothing but respect it, you
Yeah.
know. And I admire the fact that you're doing it and trying to make an impact on the next generation because they don't need to
Yeah.
make the same mistakes we did
Right, and that's
and
what I'm
go through
saying.
the same BS we did.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, also, I gotta put some responsibility on myself as well, because it's kids out there that was looking at me doing what I was doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So I got to try my best to straighten that out.
yeah. I feel you.
You know?
But no, it ain't much I can add to it. You covered the bases on that one, bro. Got my dog again. Hold on.
Yeah. Yo, what's up? It's Aaron's way.
Oh shit, what's
What
good,
Aaron?
bro? Hold on.
What's
Yo,
good?
you
What's
hear me?
good? Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Oh shit, let me turn my camera on.
Okay.
Man, nah, you was saying some real shit though, bro. Real nigga shit. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie, nigga. Hate the fuck about these streets, cause it's one of the nigga and all the niggas I talk to that made, like, you know, even myself included, bro. Niggas be so happy to make it out the streets, and when you look back, be like, bro, I cannot believe I was gambling with my life like that, nigga.
What?
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that shit. Now I cannot believe I was out here putting my everything on the line for just something that was just so shortly lived. You feel me? Cause
Yeah.
niggas in the streets, like niggas gotta know they don't really have runs like that. You might get like a 5-year run, nigga, but if you really in the street, that's about all you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's about it. Ain't you right? You about right too, bro.
Cause shit, you see all old gangsters and shit, like they not really on nothing. You feel me? Or if they are on something, they not on that shit no more. You like, you know, if you
Mm-hmm.
cause you got a 5-year run before karma catch up to you both
Mm-hmm.
ways, like in the streets and with, you know, with 12 and everything. Something is gonna happen to your ass whenever you know, you doing like when you out there like that, bro.
Yeah.
You don't last long.
You don't,
Like
bro. You don't, bro.
you know, they niggas say they got street niggas got dog years.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
real shit.
That is real shit, bro.
Hey bro, was you the first person to drop the that video? The
I don't. I
interrogation
don't.
video with Melly?
No. I got it from Unspoken Crime Mysteries. That's my guy.
Okay.
And I knew he was dropping it, but I think somebody dropped it before him because I went to the comment section and it was some guy that him and Unspoken was talking to. I could double check, but I think it was another guy that dropped it before Unspoken. I could be wrong though.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think I was like the third person to drop it.
Man,
And
yeah,
now
cause you the first person to bring it to my attention.
yeah,
And you know, go ahead.
and I actually was gonna. I could have actually. Excuse me. I could have actually took the video and posted on my channel. But I wanted to give Unspoken his credit for the video, so I just streamed it to the channel so people would know that I did not, that I did not drop it because it was, it was like eye opening to see Melly in there doing that. I had no idea, but he did. Well, a friend of a friend did hit me up and let me know that it was dropping before it dropped. That's how I was able to stream it to you guys pretty early on.
Yeah, because I know you were in the top 5 of people,
Yeah,
who dropped it yesterday.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that shit went viral quick, nigga. So shout out to you for, being one of the first niggas to get your hands on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I seen people in the comment section when I first dropped it. It was like some people, some people saying, "Oh, I didn't hear him snitch this and that." There. But I'm glad that 1090 Jake and other people are picking it up and because you know how people is, they don't believe shit when they hear from some person, but some people they hear from other people. Now it's like, oh yeah. You
Yeah.
know?
But
Facts.
it sounded like he was snitching to me. I don't know what people consider
Yeah.
snitching.
Yeah.
After
I
you
don't
told
really
the
think
man
niggas
name.
understand what snitching is. Snitching is if you are involved in the streets any way, shape, or form, and you do any type of cooperation, it's considered snitching. Now, I'm not saying, depending on what you say, I'm not saying it's always wrong because it might end up getting you out the situation without incriminating nobody. But technically, if you don't go in that motherfucker and be like, I don't know what happened, street niggas consider that snitching if you don't go in there and do that.
Mhm.
Now, niggas that done been in situations and got a little, you know, intelligence, nigga, it really kind of don't make sense because if you could say something to get yourself out of a situation and not incriminate nobody else, why not do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you say. You saying are you saying something like telling on the dead or some shit like that?
I'm not even. Hold on. I'm
You
not
remember
even.
like Terrence Gangster Williams?
Hey, bro, look, that's a whole nother subject, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
even talk about that. But I mean, well, shit, even that. I mean, that is definitely snitching. But
Yeah.
goddamn, nigga, if I got to look, life in prison is a long time. That's why I don't think niggas
What?
understand, bro. I
What?
don't think having niggas that be like, nah, I never do that, nigga. You don't know what it's like to live in there around a whole bunch. You are going to want to be like,
Right.
I just want to go, nigga.
Right.
Like it's old niggas in there right now because look, they done forgot about their life out here. The niggas that's doing long bids and shit.
Right.
Now, niggas coming fresh off of the street, I
Yeah.
don't think getting over your life on the outside, nigga, that might be too much for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to let that go. Be like, I can't accept that I'm not ever gonna be out there again. But nigga, you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got 19, 20-year-old boys going to prison for life with
Yeah.
no parole. The only way they're coming out
And a
is
lot of niggas don't even
first in
really.
a pine pot.
Yeah, that's a fact. And niggas don't really even let it sink in until it's too late. Like I heard, like I got family doing time and shit, cousins my age and shit, and it's like you can see when they go in there what type of time they be on at first, and then when all the niggas around them start going home, they're like, damn, I'm getting older. It's niggas I ain't never seen before. It's young niggas coming in this bitch bigger and faster and stronger than me. And it's like, damn, nigga, you did all that playing, but whenever all the niggas you was playing with gone, and you like, damn, I'm still here. That's when that shit hit, and when it different, and you like, damn, I gotta like be in this motherfucker forever. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
only hit until then.
my cousin said it didn't hit him until about 15 years in, what life truly meant.
Yeah.
Have
Niggas
you
get
seen people
accustomed to
come and go
living
like
like
you
that
said?
every day.
You know, you see people come and go, and you
Right.
still there.
You see
You
people
know, you
die.
start, well, how many see people die? You starting to
Yeah.
get gray hair and get middle aged, and you were 18
Hmm.
when you went in. You know, like damn.
Yeah. And niggas don't understand the person that you live with. Like, if you've been living with this nigga for 5 years, bro, that makes you and that person very close. You know what I'm saying? And if they, you watch, it's shit like that, bro. People don't really understand. Like, you don't. I don't think you would be able to adapt to that lifestyle. So don't do nothing to get you put in that position forever.
Exactly.
Cause you
Because
see
I never want to go to jail, prison, none of that shit.
Hell no, man.
mm-mm.
Because I've
I
never
ain't.
been, and I'm too old to start going now. Shit.
Hell
What?
yeah.
And that's another listen, and that's another thing too. So check this out, right? So knock on wood, I've never been to prison, right? I always been to the county. I think I did, maybe I think the most I did like 6 months. That's probably the most I did at one time. You know what I mean? Like if I done did a couple of times. I done did 6 months a
That
couple of
county
times.
time stiff though, nigga.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I done got to the age now. Well, I definitely don't do certain shit because I be looking at it, I be like, okay, so nigga, I can't go do no 10 years. Bitch,
Like
or
for real,
I can't go do 20 years, bitch. I'll be old as fuck when I get out. My life
bro.
be over with.
Oh
Thank
God.
you.
Oh
Thank you.
God, bro. Look. I got a cousin. I know this shit. Look, I don't give a fuck. Niggas could call me a hoe or whatever the fuck you want to call me, nigga. I ain't never been to the penitentiary either, but I have been in and out of county jail and state jail. My cousin is 25, 26. He just caught 7 years. We the same age. I'm sitting back like, nigga, I don't know. 7 years, nigga, I don't know about that.
I want to
Like,
tell
my
you.
goddamn self, nigga, and I'm that young. 7 years? Nigga, that's what? I'm damn near gonna be 40 when I get out. Nigga, pushing 40.
Then you got to start all the way back over.
Start
People
all the way
Mhm.
over. And you a convicted felon. Nigga, no.
Right.
I'm good.
And I think they
Fuck
don't
that.
realize how hard it is when you're a convicted felon
They
with
don't.
this shit on your record.
They
Like,
don't.
it's not easy to maneuver in normal society, quote unquote, after you get these damn strikes against you. It's not.
Hard as fuck. You ain't even gotta be convicted with a felony, nigga. Just have that shit on like, bro, I ain't been convicted of the felony. My shit was deferred. But that shit still pop up if I ever wanted to go do like, you know, a certain type of job, they'll still hold that shit against me. And it's been 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn. So shit. Hell nah. I'm good on that. Like catching
Hmm.
the felony, niggas they don't understand, bro. You can't get an apartment. You like, or you gonna have to be any apartment you gonna get after that. It's gonna be in a terrible neighborhood that's gonna let you rent with them.
Yep.
Nigga, you can never really get a house unless you like fucking with a renter. You know what I'm saying? That at least you like it's a lot of shit they don't understand.
Yep.
Leaving
Yep.
the country and shit.
Yeah.
Certain places that you won't be able to travel to ever.
Yeah. You can't be a passport, bro, with a felony.
Mhm. And then shit, the jobs that you are gonna be limited to. If you're not an
Hmm.
entrepreneur person and you're not able to figure things out on your own and make money on your own and shit, catching a felony ain't for you, bro. Because a lot of the times when niggas do catch felonies, they go to work for themselves and they figure it out. But a lot of niggas can't do. A lot of niggas be working 9 to 5 jobs and they cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But those 9 to 5 jobs are gonna be very limited when you got that F on your ticket, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I agree with
Some shit,
y'all.
hell yeah, some shit you don't want to do for the rest of your life. Like, damn, nigga, you mean to tell me I'm gonna be doing this hot ass construction labor? I'm already, nigga, you can be 50 years old out there doing hard ass construction labor every day.
Hey, that remind me when cause I used to be a construction foreman, right? It used to be this guy I used to work with him, and he saw this old guy like 67, 65 years old working like he was like a laborer. And the dude saw the guy walking by. He said he fucked up. I said, what you mean? He said he fucked up somewhere in life. I said, why you say that? He said, cause look at him. He's 65. He out here fucking laboring in construction. He fucking fucked up somewhere.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I was like, damn, he got a point. You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow, man. So, I will say this though. That's why I'm trying to spread the message so people can probably get it sooner than later. But we living in the age of entrepreneurship. I have to give these the young people that with the entrepreneurial spirit. Not even young people, it's a lot of older people with young entrepreneurial spirit too, especially after the pandemic hit.
Hmm.
I have to commend them because if you see what you can do if you apply yourself. You see what I'm saying? And
Yep.
it is an avenue for people. Look at 10 out of Jake. This nigga a felon. This nigga been to prison and all type of shit.
Thank you.
But he on fucking YouTube, one of the biggest YouTubers, and he making all kind of money and he doing it legitly. So that's what I'm
Yep.
trying to say. You know, like you know, like I'm just saying, man. I'm just trying to say somebody, man. Again, I love my children, and I don't want my children out there and all doing shit to your children, and I don't want your children out there doing shit to my children. Let me tell you something. Where I'm from in Orlando, it's to the point now. Listen, it's to the point now where the children that's beefing with each other, we friends. Me friends with the parents.
Hmm.
Like the children that's actually beefing with each other. me and they daddies is friends, like right now. Like,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like that shit crazy. Like you know what I mean? Like they used to spend the night over each other's houses and go to birthday parties together and swim in the pool and shit together. And it's like, man, like so, you know, it's just I'm just trying to say, you know what I mean? But man, like we just saw Big Melly because we got little Melly in the comment section talking about a Marito. We got little Melly in the comment section talking shit, but
Oh Lord.
I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to show everybody the hypocrisy, and I'm just trying to get them to understand before it's too late, man. Get out the car,
Yep.
get out the car, Trey. Get out the car, Trey.
Yep. You are absolutely right. And Lil Melly is the one that need to be listening to it the most right now.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do.
More than any other subscriber, because you know he subscribed.
Yeah, he subscribed. Yeah, I checked the new news. I seen it. I don't really know. So I don't know exactly what that is. I gotta check it out. I gotta double check it. I think it's just an arrest affidavit though. Let me see. Let me see. I think it's just an arrest affidavit. Let me check real quick.
What's going on?
I think it's Portland's arrest affidavit. Let me see. Let's see. First appearance. It says first appearance form. Yeah, this is when he got arrested. This is when he got arrested. Let's see the date on it. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm a mirror stream it for y'all so y'all can see it.
Okay. I know you hear a lot of rumbling and stuff in my background. Like I said, I'm in the middle of doing my hair, so I had to open a new pack. My bad.
Shit, I thought it was me.
No, that's me. All this plastic and shit.
So maybe you could help me out on this one, Tanel, but I think it's just an arrest affidavit.
Yeah.
So can you see it?
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
see at the bottom it says on or about the 26th of October in the year of 2018 in the county of Broward, state of Florida, Jamel Demons, Courtney Henry did then and there on unlawfully, feloniously, while acting as principal, kill and murder Anthony Williams, a human being, by shooting him with a firearm with a premeditated intent to cause the death of said Anthony Williams, and during the course thereof, Jamel Demons did actually possess and discharge a firearm. As a result, death was inflicted on. So I'm assuming it's another paper, but I
Yeah.
want to see this. Okay. So I think it's at the bottom. It says space needed, the probable cause affidavit, first appearance form. I think this is when you first go to jail. They showing you what you charged with.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I can't. Yeah, probable cause affidavit. Right. This was for them to arrest Portland. It says charge homicide, willful kill, murder premeditated, public order crimes, accessory after the fact. Yeah, first degree. This is Portland's charges.
Mm-hmm.
This is when they picked him up or whenever he ended up going to jail. You know, when you first go to that first court, it'd be like in front of the TV judge, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what this is.
Yeah.
This what this is. So, and look at the name, Mark Moretti,
Yep.
Cortland, Malik, Henry. He little too, 5'11". He kind of slender, but 5'11", 145.
Hey, Nunu, whoever Donnell Shaw is, go on and block them. Wipe their nose.
You're gonna wipe their nose. Like that lady said. She said, Marita, you don't have to deal with disrespect.
Who said that?
The lady in the comments. Remember, Tanel, I think you seen her comment.
Oh, okay.
She was like, you ain't see it? She said it was in the she commented on that. She's like, Marita, you don't have to deal with disrespect. This is your platform. Block them. She was talking about the lady that we talked to the other day, blessed and messy. She was like, you don't have to
Oh,
deal with that. You know, she was like, you should like I understand you giving people what's name to speak, but she was like, man, fuck that. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, I think that's just Portland's arrest affidavit.
mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we ain't getting ready to do all that today. I ain't
Who,
got the nerves for it.
who is that? Who you talking? Who from the block? Danielle?
Uh-huh. Whoever
What she,
that Danielle Shaw person is,
what she
gone,
said?
gone wipe they nose.
What she said?
Let's see. I'm trying to see where her very first comment is, because I'm just on the comments
String,
that you can see on what
string
you
yard.
call it,
String yard.
StreamYard.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
So her very first one, and I know y'all going to jail too and dying according to Google. Y'all can't keep doing this. I ain't getting ready. Ain't nobody getting ready to talk about nobody dying. Going on.
Right. Yeah, go on get her. Go on get her up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Go to jail.
Because obviously you're not paying attention to what we talking about today.
Yeah, what's up with her? She wild. Let me see. I think I can ban user and delete their comments. Okay, I got her.
All right.
I got her. What I was finna say? It was something else I was finna say. She threw me off. God damn it.
Right.
You know what I mean? She threw me off. God damn it. Um,
Oh, so she was on here then, on StreamYard with that.
yes,
No.
I seen on StreamYard as well.
Yeah, because those are the only comments I got up and looking at. I'm not on YouTube because I'm not on my phone and TV at the same time.
Also, yeah, I do believe that was Jamie the other day though. I do believe it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You thought about that too, or you saw it?
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
they say she actually went back to her social media and she was kind of alluding to us and said talking stuff. She actually was talking about Spoon in the comment section, like literally. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think that was in the comment section that was talking saying what she was saying or whatever. But
My doggone internet tripping once again.
they actually are full of shit, doing all this bullshit, but they also trying to silence people as well. Like that's insult to injury. Like that's the boy God when God hit their ass with that lightning bolt.
Yeah.
When he show up and show out, they gonna get that karma for all of that. Like y'all got the audacity to be complicit and enabling and trying to cover up this crime, but at the same time you trying to silence those who's speaking up and speaking out. You make yourself look worse and guilty. You know what I'm saying in the whole situation. Like if I'm the cops or if I'm sitting back watching them try to silence people, and when this thing come down to that guilty verdict and this man go to jail, I'm looking at they motherfucking ass too. Like we know. Like if she would have just be quiet, just be quiet, and just let the situation play out, we wouldn't know exactly how she feels about the situation. We wouldn't know. We don't have to assume. But
Mm-hmm.
being that she coming out, oh y'all need to stop this, y'all need to stop that. We lying on this man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like that shit, that just piss me off. It just gets under my skin. And I hope they get her ass too, for real. Like these were like I know you knew these boys since they was kids. Like you knew these boys. Like you supposed to be appalled. You supposed if you was any kind of decent person or mother, you supposed to be crying. You supposed to be like, boy, my son. And even not even maybe not even us to us, but inside at home, you supposed to be crying. You supposed to be like, damn, my son did this shit to his friends. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't even like you ain't got to come out publicly and say nothing, but inside you so but you so goddamn you that you won't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. She's arrogant about the situation, in my opinion.
Right.
Very
Exactly.
arrogant about it. And it's just
Exactly.
like, how? How can you be so arrogant when 2 lives were lost? Like you said, you've known these boys since they were kids,
Yeah.
small children with in Juvie's case. So how? How can you be so callous when it comes to this? I don't get it.
Me neither, man.
Yeah.
Neither.
Hey, Marita, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Joel, how you doing?
I'm all right. I was just wondering. I know y'all saw the first stuff on Instagram the other day. Did you see after that where she said that all the bloggers and shit had given her a heart attack and she was leaving Instagram?
Yeah, I see. I didn't see it, but I had somebody tell me about it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's
She never should have been on there in the first place.
no. Well, look, let me tell y'all this. So my daughter is 24 years old, 25 years old. I'm sorry, excuse me. She had no idea about any of this stuff going on. She didn't know who Melly was or anything. And it's like I'm explaining the situation, and she can't believe any of it, much less Jamie's involvement in the whole thing. And it's just incredible.
It's very incredible.
Mhm.
Almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's inhumane. I mean, all the way around. It's just there's nothing right about the whole situation.
I swear it's like a bad Lifetime movie.
Definitely.
It is for real.
I just, me as a woman, not even necessarily as a mother, but just as a woman, I have no respect for somebody who just goes, first, her behavior during all of this. Like, how are you going around giving interviews, smiling about it, talking about your sons coming home? And it's appalling. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on a press tour. We shouldn't even know who you are and what you look like
Right.
during this time period.
Exactly.
You still talking about, yeah, you're an ICU nurse, this, that, and the other. Well, thank God she's not nursing here, because I wouldn't want her as my nurse with that type of spirit. But you
God,
have
could
a
you
whole job. So why are you going around interviewing and doing parading and putting your face out there? And then when your patients come, I bet, because I know somebody has had to recognize her when she's
Oh
been
yeah.
their nurse. And then what you gonna say?
Yeah, could you imagine going in the hospital and having to stay there for some crazy reason and looking up and that's who your nurse was?
Now, I promise you she wouldn't be mine, because you don't have to
Yeah.
accept the nurse that they assign to you. I've fired many of nurses when I've been in the hospital. She wouldn't be mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't let her be my nurse either. Not knowing her stance on this whole situation, it would just turn me off. I'd be like, nah, can y'all please get another nurse, please?
Yeah.
Exactly. You're supposed to be living a very private life right now. The only way we were supposed to know you is when the trial started, and if you got in front of the camera and someone said, "Oh, that's Melly's mama, Jamie King." That's it.
Yeah.
You're not. You shouldn't be, because that boy guilty.
Everybody
Yeah,
know this boy guilty. Go ahead, Joel.
I was just gonna say, and then you have all this stuff coming out in the trial with like them paying people off, and then B slime going up to that lady, and like, don't do that in public, at least,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said, we're not dealing with the brightest bulbs in the bunch here.
Sure.
So I'm not surprised that they're behaving this way in public and letting people see it, because they're not smart people at all.
What that was, Hillary Clinton said, it's like a basket of deplorables.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you got Portland, you got Track, you got Jamie, you got Melly, you got even I'm gonna throw this lady in there. What her name? Felicia. I'm
gonna
throwing
throw
her.
Felicia
I'm
in
throwing
there.
her in there too. I'm throwing her in there too.
And her daughter.
Right, and the daughter. Like,
because she ain't saying nothing, and she know a good amount of information. She ain't saying nothing.
Right.
So yeah, all of their asses. Throw them all in the basket.
Bro, none of these people are decent people. Like, y'all, like, it's like I have no words. Like, I have no words. And they all are jockeying to get Beelzebub out of jail. Like, they want Beelzebub himself out of jail.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, God.
And I could never.
There's just no money that's that long. I don't care what it is. There's no money worth. I mean, they're selling their souls.
Basically. Right.
That's what that is, man.
Yeah, mine is priceless, so I don't know
That's
what
it.
price she's
Mine
willing to put
too.
on hers,
Right.
but you can't buy me. Nah, I'm sorry. You know,
Uh-uh.
my integrity won't let me do that. Mm-mm. Mm.
Mine either. Mine either, man. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we feel the way we feel. Maybe that's why we so just like appalled because we are people that are not like moved or motivated or will do things like this just for money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I got a job. I can go do an honest days of work and get money. Like all of, you know what I mean? Like
Yes. And it's just money. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just money. That's
you
yeah,
know, it's just paper that the government assigned value to it. It's nothing compared to the feeling of being able to rest my head well every night.
that's what I
yeah.
learned. That's what I learned when I got out of the streets, Tanel. When I realized that I didn't have to worry about certain things and I could just relax and I wasn't involved in none of that stuff. So none of that negativity from that type of stuff was coming my way. Working and being making an honest living brought me peace. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
I went to work yesterday. I started work at 7. I didn't get home till 4:30 this morning.
Oh wow.
You know, but hey, it was an honest living. I made an honest living, and it's blessed. I'm blessed to even have a job. You know, like so.
Hmm.
I
Absolutely.
You know, that's why I told the people the other day at the beginning of the year. I said the 9 to 5 people, y'all are winning. I know we like to look on Instagram. People look on Instagram and think that you're not winning because you're not living like those people that fantasy fairy tale life they living on Instagram. No, most people are living just like we're living. When they go to work, they work a 9 to 5, or they have a business and they take care of their family that way. You are winning if if you're a hard working person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know.
admittedly, it did take me a little while to figure that out,
Yeah.
just like everybody else. I wilded out for a little while and I raised kids young, but now, I'm just happy that I can go out and I mean, I work my ass off a lot of days, but
Right.
I don't feel bad about it.
Right.
And it don't bother me that I got a pickup truck that I drive around here because it gets me somewhere just as good as that damn Rolls Royce will get somebody somewhere.
Damn
Thank
right.
you.
Damn
Thank
right.
you. You
Damn
know,
right.
that's why I don't be on social media and stuff. It's all a facade.
It's all is.
Yeah.
You know, it's all a facade. You think somebody's living a perfect life, and behind the scenes, their life is in worse shambles than yours. No, thank you.
Right.
You know, I'd rather be poor and at peace than rich with all these problems. And I
That's
mean
it.
that.
Right.
You know, and I'm not saying that I'm poor. I'm not. But you
Right.
know, I live modestly because I have a modest income, but I'm taken care of. I have no needs or desires, or everything is everything is okay, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
You know,
Hmm.
I don't need all of this extra. You know, and even the facade that they're trying to put on with with how they're living, Jamie them, they ain't got that money like that.
Mm-mm.
She's living off of her nursing income because Track got all of Melly money tied up,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right.
and it's running out. You know, between Track spending it
Right.
and his lawyer fees, he gonna be broke.
Right.
If he ain't
Yeah.
broke already, that might be a reason why he won't want a mistrial too, because he couldn't afford to keep his lawyer.
Well, and here's my thing. Either way, so if he everybody that's around him surrounding him, if he wins, he ain't gonna give you no money because he's already won. If he
Exactly.
loses, that money ain't gonna go that far.
Tell him.
Exactly.
Tell him, Joel. Joel.
You
Tell him.
know,
Tell him. Tell him.
I,
Preach.
I just don't get it. And everybody it seems like is rallied around this dude, man. I don't
Right.
get it.
And the
Yeah.
thing, and the thing about it, like, it don't take a fifth grader to see this guy did this. Like,
Yeah, I
a
mean,
fifth
honestly,
grader.
if there was like serious evidence where I looked at this case and I thought there's no way possible that he did this, I would be the first to admit it.
I
And
would
and
too.
I don't want it to be that he killed his friends,
Me
man,
neither.
because that is the most awful thing I can imagine.
Yeah.
But it sure as hell looks like it to me.
Yeah.
Everything we've seen and gone over.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. That's why I just can't get with anybody who's like that's why that lady got under my skin so bad yesterday. She was making excuses. She's using her situation, what she's been through with her son, and applying it to this Melly case. And it's just like, that's two totally different cases, love. You can't compare what you've gone through and what you do to this specific case. And then still talking about, even after the verdict has been made, I'm still going to process. No, that means you just telling me that you don't believe if he's guilty. You're saying that you're not going to believe that he's guilty. That's all that meant to me. You wouldn't accept the guilty verdict for what it was. Because hell, after it's guilty, what else is there to process?
Right.
And so she was skewed, she was biased, and then wouldn't admit it, and that's why it bothered me too. It's just like, just admit you're skewed, you're biased, and we all have excuse me, we all have unconscious biases about different things in life, different people, different situations. But once you recognize it, acknowledge it. I acknowledge I'm biased as hell in this case right now. Right. Because of all the information that I've gathered, all the things that I've found out. Yeah, I know he's guilty. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. But, just because you're a social justice activist doesn't mean that you should be an activist for every single Black or brown person in the criminal justice system, because most of their asses are guilty.
Shit, Melly telling us he guilty. If you pay attention, he paying people off. The lady Felicia Holmes definitely told us Melly guilty. I don't remember. Man, I ain't seen nothing like that since I seen a mafia movie. I don't remember. Man, lady, listen, I told you guys, my sources had already told me, and I reiterated that to the people on this platform way before this lady even touched the stand, that they paid her to go down there to the Virgin Islands. When she got on the stand, didn't she reaffirm what I had already told y'all?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She told us that in her statement. She said that that they told her that they were gonna take care of her until after the trial. They answer her phone calls where you can tell them, Melly, his people, that I'm gonna be Miss Snitch bitch. What are you talking about, lady?
Right. What you snitching about?
Right.
If you don't know anything, if nothing that you do know would be incriminating evidence, what's the need to say all that? People think, I don't know, I guess people are really more dumb than I really thought.
I don't know what you call that. What you call that, Joel? What do you call these? What are these people doing?
They just lying. I don't know. I was so frustrated. I knew that prosecutor was getting frustrated because I was getting pissed off.
Yeah.
But I think if she would have stopped early enough before she read that thing into the record, I think it would have gone a lot better for her. Of course, she wouldn't have gotten the mistrial thing, but I think the jury saw that there was something weird going on there, no matter if they heard exactly what it was or not.
Yeah.
So I think she took a L on that one, the prosecutor lady.
Oh yeah, she's taking a couple L's in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's why I even think if they do get a mistrial, it's to the prosecution's benefit, because now you know the defense strategy. So you can go and you can fill in all the holes that they're trying to poke that they've already shown you thus far, even though it's only 4 days into it. You got a good idea of what their strategy is. You can go and fill all those holes and come back and have a much stronger case. And I really think she needs to have her co-counsel argue more. I don't think she's doing a very good job of trying to get her point across. I think she bored the jury to tears with all that ballistic shit just for the defense attorney to get up there and be like, well, if you have a gun, is anything really accurate? No. Okay, then. I mean, blew apart that man's whole goddamn day of testimony with one question.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you think, even if they grant him, do you think Melly's best chances of probably beating this case is without the mistrial?
No, Melly's best chances of beating the case is to continue on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because his defense team is doing a hell of a job. So
Yeah,
it,
so
I
it makes
think
no
it would,
sense for them to motion for mistrial.
yeah, it's in the prosecution's best interest to get a mistrial because they can go back and strengthen their case.
So she should go back there tomorrow morning and be like, "I'm sorry, this is what happened. Let's do this mistrial and go get
Yeah,
some."
she should go ahead and say, yeah, I agree. We can do a mistrial and start over from scratch.
If he
Let's
got
pick a new jury in a couple weeks and
Would
go
that
from
be a
there.
new jury too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring the jury.
Oh yeah.
but is he gonna have? But see, the thing, the crazy part, like y'all said, then they get a chance. The state get a chance to erase all the mistakes and shit they made, and realize what the defense gonna come up with, and it'll probably be harder for him if he did the
Because the
mistrial.
defense, he's really just freestyling up there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, he doing a damn good. When you really think about it, you gotta just break it down. He doing a good job of creating smoke and mirrors. But when you really boil down to it, it's gonna come down to the defense having to prove what or having to show whether it's Portland or Melly. It can only be
Well,
two
here's
people.
the thing. I saw somebody yesterday talking about the prosecution. They should have just laid out a lot of the facts in the very beginning. Kind of like there was 4 people that got in that car. Only 2 people got out of that car. You know?
Yeah.
Lay it down on.
And they kind of needed to lean on that because that's facts. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You know, 2 of the people that are in that car are dead.
And after a whole week, we still barely even have a clear story of the picture that she's trying to paint.
Right.
Exactly. Because I don't see the picture that she's trying to paint at all. I really don't.
And neither does the jury. If we don't see it, ain't no way the jury see it. So go ahead, motion for that mistrial, restart this thing over.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, let me address this comment that Nunu said. And this is what she said. She said, but see, I'm confused because people say if he gets a mistrial, then he walks free with double jeopardy. That is absolutely false. Double jeopardy only applies once he's been found not guilty, not in a mistrial. So if this trial continues and they find him not guilty, Melly can literally walk out the courtroom and go do a press conference and say, yeah, I was just found out not guilty, but guess what? I actually did that shit. And there would be nothing they could do about it because of double jeopardy. But that doesn't apply to a mistrial. A mistrial just means that there's no conclusion at the end of this court stuff. So it's basically a reset.
Yeah, Miss Lady, she needs some help.
But isn't there like something like with prejudice or something where they can declare it where he can't be tried again? A mistrial.
Yeah, but that's
it's very rare.
That ain't happening in this case.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Yeah,
but there is a circumstance where it could happen.
Yeah, and that's really with I do they do trials with prejudice? Well, they do charges with prejudice, with and without prejudice. I've heard of that. I'm not going to speak on whether they do trials with or without prejudice because I've never heard of that before. But I know that they can dismiss with prejudice, which means that you cannot be prosecuted for those exact charges again. That's the end of any type of excuse me, judicial motions or anything with that, or without prejudice, which means that you can go ahead and charge him again, or the trial can commence again, whatever. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you don't want to see anytime a criminal like this, you don't want to see their charges or the trial dismissed with prejudice. No, that's not a good thing. But that happens so rarely, and that's typically happens when someone who's innocent is being charged with something and they've been proven to be not guilty. They'll dismiss the charges with prejudice so that they can never be charged with that again.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often at all. I don't think that'll ever come into play in this case.
I'm gonna say I just want to say this right. So I'm just saying, like, I'm telling you what I think is gonna happen. This is my opinion. The defense is going to ramp up the accusation that Portland did this. They're going to have to because it's only 2 people that could have did this. The bullet shell in the back of the car gonna tell us that they got the shell inside the car, so we know it wasn't a drive-by, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They already done laid out that it could be possibly Portland. The defense did that in the opening statement, right? So they're going to throw this completely on Portland. There's only 4 people in that car. And all this drive-by shit, everybody know that shit ain't true. Even the jury know that shit ain't. Well, they will know once they get through going through all the evidence. They're gonna know that shit ain't true. They're gonna have to. The defense is going to have to show that Melly didn't do this by showing that Portland more than likely did this, and that's gonna be their problem in the end. That's what I think, because we all pretty much know Portland didn't do this. Even the families know Portland didn't do this. How the fuck did Portland shoot them boys from the back seat and he was driving?
Mm-hmm.
Melly had the phone the whole time. They showed him had the phone leaving the studio. They showed he actually the phone left with Melly when him and Portland split up and Portland went to the hospital. The phone left with Melly at that point. We know this. The girlfriend mama, Felicia Holmes, says she saw her daughter FaceTime Melly. She said she saw his face. So that means he still had the phone. Like they pinged the phone, they tracked the phone. So we know he had the phone. Portland never had a phone. Those boys was killed from the inside of the car. We know this. Like, this is fact. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think now that when I really sit and think about this case, I think a lot of this is just smoke and mirrors, and it's also, the prosecution, she should have laid out the motive in the opening statement. I would have told about the $200,000. I would have told about the fight that Melly and Sack Chaser had. I would have told about the video that the mama made, put on Instagram, saying, "You got guns, I got big guns."
How many years in the field does she have, Marita?
Huh?
How many years in the field does she have?
10. We looked up. She got 10.
Up till today?
Yeah, 10.
So basically, she had 5 years of experience before the case started.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fuck
right.
Yeah.
So to me, it really seems like, and I don't want to discredit her or nobody in the office, you feel me? But to what it looks like on the outside is as if this is a mock trial and a high schooler done got given a paper full of witnesses and okay, pick out which one you want to use.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that up until the day she got 10 years. So that means she only had like 5.5, because this count is about 4.5 years, right?
So how many cases could she have covered in those 4.5, 5 years?
Right.
For such a high profile case like this, and that could really prove the defense's point of how she wants to be some type of superstar. So yeah, go take that mistrial, start over, bring in somebody else.
I'm gonna tell you what I did notice that the defense had on point. They told the judge ahead of time that she was going to pull that move that she pulled, and she pulled it. So, so what that tells me is they got her tendencies what do they call it?
Packed down.
Yes. People be thinking that when it's actually a matter of the attorneys as well. They study them as well to know what their tendencies is. You got some attorneys that plea out a lot or plea their clients out a lot. The other attorneys from the other side knows this, so you get what I'm saying? Like it's also that going on too. Like they probably checked her out, notice her tendencies, all of that type of shit, you know? Yeah. Because that lawyer did tell that judge, hey, look, she's going to try to sneak this evidence in back door. And she went right up there and did it. To me, she should have adapted. She should have switched her game plan. And that's another thing that I noticed. I mean, I don't know exactly what her plan is. I mean, I do think that she tried to let that lady be the last person that these jurors heard over this 4-day weekend. She wanted to slide that statement in. And if she would have got that statement in the front door, it would have nullified all the wins that the defense had their first 3 days. That statement was damning. You feel what I'm saying? So I think she did want to get that in, but what I'm saying is she don't seem to be able to make adjustments on the fly enough, because when they asked her, when she was trying to ask that question to get that statement in, she ran out of ways to ask the question. They kept saying objection, 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 and answer. She was trying to flip that goddamn question around like a Rubik's Cube to get it in where the judge would allow it in, but she couldn't.
She didn't even need to do that, Maria. The only thing she needed to do was just ask her a question to make her mama acknowledge that she made the statement, and that would have said enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Asking all of them extra questions just put her in a rabbit hole.
Damn, so did. She was dead. Listen, she was dead. She was like a, what they call it, tunnel vision. She was dead set on getting that shit in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think she probably
Yeah.
could have gone about it a different way to get it in,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. But somebody said that, it's only she's only had 10 witnesses, or we've seen less than 10 witnesses in the first week. She hasn't well, we don't see the picture because she basically hasn't painted the full picture yet, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. That's what you're supposed to do with your opening
Opening
statement,
statement. Yeah, opening
is paint
statement.
the full picture. And then you take each part from that opening statement and you build upon it. So I shouldn't have to wait until your whole case has been presented to get the gist of the whole case. I get the gist of that in your opening statement, and she didn't do that.
Yeah, because all you do is you make your opening statement. You tell them what the motive is and the reason why it happened, and then you could just you can sprinkle all the reasoning why as you show your witnesses and as the case go on. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I could have made a better opening statement than that. I'm telling you, I could have, and I ain't never did that shit before in my life. I'm telling you, I would have put that fight in there if she knew about the fight. I would have put that fight in there. I would have definitely put in the situation about the money. She didn't put none of that in there. I would have put the situation about Melly's mom with the Instagram post with her. They got the text messages where Sack Chaser was threatening Melly's mama. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, throw all of that in there, like, cause that's what you're gonna do anyways.
Mm-hmm.
As you going on in your case, you're going to bring all of these situations up or some of these situations up. So you should have put them in your opening statement so the jury could have been waiting on you to hit these points as the trial went on. That's what the defense did. That's what he doing. Watch, I bet you $10 tomorrow or at some point as this week go on, he's going to throw Portland ass back up under that goddamn bus. He gonna have to, because he gonna have to account for that shell case of being in that car, and he gonna have to account when that coroner come up and say them boys died from shots that came from inside that car, and they were shot post-mortem after they was dead. Some of those shots came post-mortem after they was already dead. And that cell phone data gonna put them on the scene. They're gonna put Melly on the scene. Bortland didn't have a phone, but at the same time, he put himself on the scene when he said it was a drive-by. He said he never left him, so he gonna put himself on the scene. So it's only gonna come down to who killed him, because the other two guys dead. It's gonna come down to Melly, and it's gonna come down to Bortland. That defense attorney gonna have to throw Bortland under the bus some more.
Yeah.
They already did. But good morning, y'all.
Hey, Dream Dog.
Good morning. Good morning.
I've been over there at King AK-47 comments stalking your ass.
I wasn't over there. Did old school hear me coming here?
I know you wasn't. Yeah, he was up here earlier.
He wasn't talking shit, was he?
No, he wasn't talking shit. You wasn't talking shit. But what you feel though, Dream Dog?
Did y'all already watch what's it called? 1090 Jake video?
Yeah, we watched it.
Oh, I ain't see it yet. But yeah.
I'll play it again.
What y'all got going on? Oh, thank you.
I'll play it again now, because people be coming in late, so I'll be that's cool. I think I noticed that, because some people that hit the comment section, they'll be like, "Hey, did you play this?" And I'll be like, "Man, we play that shit again, that video." So I don't
seen
mind.
you and Spoon's interview had made it to Academics channel last night on his stream.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
It's actually more to that interview too. It's like 8 hours of interview. And actually, we're gonna be dropping some more of that interview. I did that interview like almost 2 years ago. Actually, I gave it back. I gave that interview back to Spoon though, so he should be dropping it on his channel, because he just started his channel, so just trying.
Yeah, it's wild that not many people know too much about this case, and I'm really surprised. Like,
Yeah,
the more people I talk to,
I went on Triggerman platform, and I was actually talking to Rainwater, Mo3's manager, about 3-4 days ago about the case, and it was surprising to me that he didn't know a lot about the case. and he in the music industry. I was like, this nigga. I was like, that's crazy. But I'm
That's
gonna tell y'all
crazy.
this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As I look around on social media or on YouTube and stuff, if it ain't Spoon channel or this channel, we know more about this case than anybody. I'm just
Anybody.
keeping it real. Anybody, like I promise you, like even when I was listening to Academic, he didn't even know a lot.
You
You know
don't
what I
even
mean?
know shit.
Right.
No, and then he just making assumptions about shit too.
But I'm gonna just say this. Spoon post he extended the offer for Spoon to go on his platform as well. So I told Spoon that I think he should go on there, but Spoon said he might go on there. It just depends. But Academic did reach out to him to go on there.
Definitely
So
should.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he might that would be a good one just because academics got a big platform, and so the word will get out to a whole bunch of people, especially people that support Melly. But you know, I don't like academics, but that'll be a
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's what I was telling. That's what my stance was. I was like, okay, you did the mainstream publication. Now, I say if I was you, I would go on Academic to set the record straight, to kind of hit the hip hop community with it because a lot of these people don't
They
know.
don't know.
They don't know.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. But
And
they will watch academics and listen, to whatever he put out.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
This video, we're gonna be speaking on YNW Melly cooperating interrogation. October 19th, 2015.
Stop.
The Vero Beach Police Department received a call for a group of teens gathering outside of a restaurant near Vero Beach High. Shortly after, a single gunshot went off. The school, which just dismissed its students 15 minutes prior to the shooting, was placed on lockdown as officers arrived on scene. 3 witnesses would identify a then 16-year-old Jamel Demons, who's more commonly known as YNW Melly. They'd say Melly fired the gun at them, but none of them were hit. Still missing, Melly would post to his own Facebook a news report that shots fired placed his high school on lockdown. It was roughly 2 hours later when police would announce they had Melly in custody after finding him in a nearby apartment building under repair. Fast forward to June of 2023, Melly is beginning his second week at trial for the murder of his 2 friends, and an 8-year-old interrogation video of Melly just dropped. The interrogation itself is from the day of the shooting, and Melly can be seen being questioned by 2 detectives about what took place, as he hilariously tells detectives to tell him what they know first.
Talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. You understand that? If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish one. You understand that? Now that you know that, you want to talk to me about what happened today? That's not the way it works, bro. Obviously, I mean, we wouldn't be talking to you if we didn't know what happened. But I need you to tell me the honest truth. I'm here to help you, believe it or not. You don't believe me, but what happened?
Melly would say they'd been messing with him and spotted him by the Plum Tomato restaurant as he was going to get his food. He'd say it was a total of 8 people and someone pulled a gun out, so he ran to the blue apartments he'd later be found hiding. When asked who pulled the gun, Melly initially said, "I don't know." But when the detective asked if he shot in self-defense, Melly became more cooperative and even gave a name.
If you shot in self-defense or something, you need to let us know. What happened? Kind of gun one. Now he knows a 30
While Melly was asked for the street name of who pulled the gun, Melly gave the teen's last name, Gillespie. He was referring to Quintravious Gillespie, a then 17-year-old who went by the name Vontae. Melly would initially say he ran away when Vontae aimed the gun at him. Repeatedly being questioned about where the gun is, the detective would ask if Melly's worried about getting someone else in trouble, alluding that someone may have hidden the gun from Melly.
That nigga like a Ninja Turtle. That nigga like a little Ninja Turtle, boy.
Don't he?
Damn.
Melly would change his initial story, now saying Vontae tried to shoot him, and when Vontae pulled the gun, he snatched it. But knowing they had more guns, he ran to the apartment before firing off the shot. That's when Melly clarified to detectives he had no gun of his own. He in fact fired the gun he took from Vontae. Detectives would then ask after he fired, what did he do with the gun? Melly would say he threw the gun back over to the area the group was. One of them picked it back up, later naming Vontae as the one who grabbed it. Detectives didn't believe him. Melly, who felt he may face more charges if he gave up the location of the gun, eventually did tell detectives where he hid it, according to news reports from the following day. Melly would be charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of discharging a firearm in public. Portland would post a picture of Melly to Facebook the same day, saying slick ass, and Melly would later be sentenced to a juvenile program. As for Vontae, an FDLE search would show Vontae was arrested that same day, but for trespassing and violating his probation. It's unclear if Melly's statement played a role in his arrest, as Melly placed him at the scene, but then again, it's alleged that Vontae was one of the 3 witnesses who told police Melly fired a gun. While definitely cooperating, it's in the air as to if Melly actually snitched, as many have their own opinion on what snitching actually is. Melly's former associate Jay Green gave a full interview with the police in a separate incident where he identified a man who fired a shot in the air after someone threw a bottle at his car. That man would later be sentenced to prison for firing the gun. Jay Green claims he didn't snitch. Boston Richie would give homicide investigators a full.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
What happened?
Oh, no, that's what I said. Yeah, okay, there we go.
And get 2 people arrested in another case. But he claims he did. Argument Melly could make self-defense.
Yeah.
What they say about Jay Green?
Jay Green, they say Jay Green snitched too. I didn't even know that. Let me back it up. Yeah, let me back it up real quick. Let me see. Let's back it up, y'all. Let's back it up. Back it up. That nigga like a little Ninja Turtle, don't he? He look. Hey, listen. When I used to be selling crack, he look like them crackheads that the lighter be done blew up in their face, and they.
Nah. Nah.
And again, it's alleged that Vontae was one of the 3 witnesses who told him to get a gun at them. While definitely cooperating, it's in the air as to if Melly actually snitched, as many have their own opinion on what snitching actually is. Melly's former associate Jay Green gave a full interview with the police in a separate incident where he identified a man who fired a shot in the air after someone threw a bottle at his car. That man would later be sentenced to prison for firing the gun, but Jay Green claims he didn't snitch. Boston Richie would give homicide investigators a football team of names in one case and get 2 people arrested in another case, but he claims he didn't snitch. And the only argument Melly could make is self-defense. And in a self-defense case, you have to admit what happened. Unfortunately, if the other person isn't dead, You have to tell police what they did to make you fear for your life, which could result in them being charged with the crime. In Melly's case, it's unclear if detectives even believed his self-defense story. And Vontae was never charged with anything Melly actually said. But at the same time, Melly could have told that same story without actually giving up any names. Now with this one, I had to look into it, right? I had to find out if the name Melly gave was a real person, because people will give all type of names and then try to say that they were fake names. The name he gave was real. The police asked him, who pulled the gun? What's his name? What's his street name? Melly gives him his last name. Identifies the person, right? Melly cooperated 100%. Fucked up when he gave them that name. Because cooperation is as simple as you get pulled over, license and registration, and you give it to them. You're cooperating. They're asking him questions, he's answering. But when he said that name, when he said, this is the person who pulled the gun out on me, this is the person who went and picked the gun up after, even if the shit didn't happen, if he had got charges put on him, you did that. But he didn't get charges put on him. You still could have told the story without giving his name. And the fact that he gave that name isn't going to change shit. Isn't going to change nothing, because I be exposing motherfuckers left and right. Paperwork, interrogation videos, and nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? QCP, he was just hanging out with Gucci at Rick Ross's shit or whatever car show they were just at. You know what I'm saying? Boston Richie, fucking Jay Green, fucking, I can show y'all everything, and people are still like, nah, I don't think he snitched. He didn't snitch on me. So what do I think about this Melly shit? He shouldn't have gave that fucking name. He fucked up. Is it going to affect him in any way, shape, or form? No, because people are going to say he was 16 years old. He wasn't affiliated with nobody. This, that, and the third. He took the charge. He did all the time. The other kid didn't get arrested for it. Whatever. That kid got booked for trespassing. Apparently, he didn't even go to that school, but he showed up to start some shit while he was on probation. And then allegedly tells the police, hey, Melly just shot at me. Yeah, well, why'd he shoot at you? Well, we were over here trying to beat his ass, and he shot at me. All right, well, now you're under arrest. You know what I'm saying? That's more or less how they're trying to spin the story, that this kid got himself booked, and it wasn't nothing that Melly actually said. But it doesn't fucking matter. Melly shouldn't have gave that name. Now, only very few people are going to hold this against him. One of them may be Boosie, who actually helped put Melly's defense team together and showed up to one of Melly's trial dates. Now Boosie is in federal custody, so he most likely isn't going to say anything about the situation. And it's unfortunate that Melly doesn't even have any privileges inside of jail to where he can make a phone call and speak out on the situation himself. Because 9 times out of 9, if he's able to say something, motherfuckers is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I would have did that too. Nobody's gonna care. That happens with damn near everybody that either paperwork or an interrogation video drops on. Does what he did violate code? You're not supposed to give a name, bro. At the end of the day, you can't show no favoritism. But let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
Boosie put Melly's defense team together?
He helped him. He gave him Bradford Cohen, but I think Bradford Cohen dropped the case.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but Boosie's supposed to be so against snitching and all of that, but he was just up at Melly trial trying to support him and shit. So now he was supporting the snitch, nigga.
Finna drop an album with somebody who's told us that he snitched himself, which is T.I.
Exactly. Boosie try to go. Oh, this Boosie getting a lot of karma.
But I be trying to. That's what I'm trying to explain to everybody, bro. I told y'all, and they showing us right what I'm telling you. The streets, that shit, the code is a lie. It's a myth. Don't nobody about. Well, the big dogs do not abide by the code. That's for the minions. That's for the young ones. That's for the people who just get in the game who could be manipulated. But the big dogs, they talking to the police to get the competition knocked off. All type of shit. Frank Lucas showed you that. I keep trying to, man. All right, man. I it's examples after example. that you can see this. You know what I'm saying? Gucci told he did an interview. They asked him who sent the dudes to kill him. He said Jeezy. I saw the interview.
Nah, not Gucci.
It was
Yeah.
Gucci. It
Ain't
was
no-
Gucci.
Yep.
Nope.
It's a video, nigga. They asked him. They say who? Remember when Gucci went to jail for the killing the dude?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gucci told. Boosie told too.
No, not
The,
Gucci.
the police took Boosie's jewelry and wouldn't give it back or some shit, trying to make like they ain't have it. Boosie got on an interview with the news people and told them it will be criminal charges filed. They took my shit and I want my shit back. The streets would have you believe that Boosie was supposed to handle it in the streets because he a street dude. You see what I'm saying? I don't disagree with what Boosie did. But what I'm saying is I'm just showing people the hypocrisy. I'm just showing people that you get what I'm saying? Like they say that this is the code, the criteria, but people break the code all the time. You know what I'm saying? CEO P, he the worst one I've seen yet. P was trying to kill the nigga and put the police on the nigga at the same time.
He ran up to the cop, was like, this is the guy right here.
Nah, that's OD.
P from QC was the worst I've seen in a long time. He was actually trying to kill the dude and he was telling the police on the dude at the same time. How you gonna beat that motherfucker? You look, just think about this. If you're the dude that's going to war with P, you can't go home because the police about to bust your house because P done told people where you stay at. You can't beat him. You can't beat him. You got the police looking for you and you got P looking for you. Shit.
Hey.
They say P kept calling the police. Yeah, man, they say he over here. Yeah.
He kept calling the police.
He over there. Yeah, I heard it being such apartment complexes. The man got shot at the club. P found out the man got shot at the club. P called the police and told the police, hey man, the dude that killed my homeboy who pulled the gun on me at the mall, he just got shot at this club. If you hurry up to the hospital, you can save his life and you can charge him with murder. Swear to God, man.
That ain't no informant. That's some next level type shit right there, boy. Ain't no way. I thought he was a street nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Then he went on Instagram, made a statement, and basically telling everybody, "Oh, y'all just hating because I made a $300 million deal. I don't give a f about a dude that killed my friend." And basically, he was like confirming it, like, "Man, I don't care what y'all think. I'm rich now." And that's what I'm trying to tell the youngsters. That's what the big dogs do. Listen, I don't want to do it, but I'm even throw my boy Rollo in there. Look what Rollo said. Rollo said, hey man, look, man, y'all know how it is, man. You can pay somebody, if you can pay somebody to take the charge and you the bag, man, go ahead on and do that. That's what his rationale was. You get what I'm saying? Right? Like, I'm telling y'all, I done been in it, bro. I done seen it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I will respect 1090 Jake for the dropping this video because he kind of let me down a little bit with the track interview. But I'm gonna say this, you know 1090 Jake is real cool with track. So for him to drop this video, it kind of gave me a little bit of more credit, respect for him as far as his integrity. You get what I'm saying? Because he real tight with track now.
A lot of people are real tight with track.
You know what I'm saying?
Academics dropped the ball when he had interviewed track too.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Because he tight with track too. I think him and track do a show together. I'm hearing through the grapevine they got some kind of little show they do together.
They do.
Oh, okay. So when I was listening to Academic go over our content the other day, I could kind of tell he kind of was like on straddling the fence as well. That's why I want Spoon to go on that channel so bad, because I want Spoon to set the record straight on there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to allow them to hide. You know what I mean? Expose them, like let because Spoon talks very well, but I want him to let the people know. Let the people know what's really going on. I'm telling you, because a lot of people don't know all of these small things. It's so much stuff going on behind the scenes of this case that the average person doesn't know.
Yeah.
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 Well,
hey, you guys, I gotta jump
I think
off
you were
here.
A-Chat.
All right, Joel. We'll see you. You know you always welcome. Appreciate you.
Have a
All
good
right.
day.
Thanks, you guys. See
All
y'all.
right.
Bye.
But what y'all thoughts though, man? What y'all thoughts, Green Dog?
What was that about Jay Green though? Like that was new.
I think it's old information because I think I heard it before, but of course Jay Green is not as well known as Melly, and so it's kind of like swept under the rug. Well, it's not news, but I think I heard it before.
Okay, I ain't know about that part. That and then the Boosie putting the defense together. I knew he had tried to help him with the lawyer and stuff, but yeah, that was a good thing that stuck out to me that I forgot to think about. Like um he over here trying to cheerlead for Melly, but
Mhm.
he acting like he's so hard on snitches and shit like that. But just like
Exactly.
Tim said, he gonna give him every excuse in the book, and
Mhm.
everybody about all kind of excuses in the book. But the thing is, like he was in the streets at that time,
Exactly.
so it should count.
It does count. Like if it wouldn't count if let's say he was not in the streets and he was witnessing robbery or witnessing a murder and he told the police on that. That don't count. Now I'm gonna say this. That is still telling. See, it's the difference between telling and snitching. A law-abiding citizen can tell, and it will be, and it can possibly be the same consequences. The gang members don't give a fuck. the gang
Right.
members, the gang members don't give a fuck that you're a law-abiding citizen if you tell it. I'm just saying under the definition, would you be a snitch if you are a law-abiding citizen and you tell the police? No, technically, no, you're not a snitch. That's who the law is for. It's for all of us, but at the same time, what you expect the law-abiding citizen to do? They ain't finna fucking go to war with you, so the police is to protect them. It's actually to protect all of us, but I'm saying it's perfectly plausible for them to use the police in order to get situations solved. Now,
Right.
if you is in the streets and doing anything illegal, see, people like to think that you got to be co-defendants in order to be a snitch. No, the fuck you don't. You could be selling weed across the street, and I could see an old lady get mugged over there, and somebody push it down and snatch her purse. If I'm the weed guy and I go tell the police, yeah, I seen the dude, he had on black, he had black shoes, black hat, he ran that way. I'm snitching. The snitching is the
Right.
hypocrisy. Snitching is the hypocrisy of you actually indulging in something criminal, and you got the nerve to tell on somebody else. You don't even have to get time knocked off in order to snitch. You feel what I'm saying? The police don't even have to use the information that you gave them in order to be a snitch. You feel what I'm saying? Like you might tell them shit and they might be like, oh yeah, all right, but that's still snitching. The act is what snitching is. The act of doing it, the act of telling them something, and you doing something illegal yourself. But I want to tell people, law-abiding citizens, they're not snitches. They just be telling. And that's what the fuck I would have did if I was Portland. As soon as that nigga would have sent me to get it, soon as that
Civilians is good.
soon as that nigga would have told me to take them body to that thing, I'd have said, yeah, bro. I'd have gave him I'd have gave him that real handshake. They be doing that stack up handshake. I would have hugged that nigga, told that nigga I love him, all type of shit. Boy, hey, listen, boy, I would have leaned on that goddamn steering wheel, leaned on that bitch like this, and I would have flushed that bitch up out of there. In my mind, as soon as I get to that guy, hey, look, I'd have been talking to my dogs, bro, I'm gonna get y'all to the hospital, bro, I'm gonna get y'all to the hospital. As soon as I would have got to that motherfucking hospital, nigga, I'd have yoked that bitch up in there. I would have grabbed one of them and pulled them up out that bitch, knowing to my wrestle their ass up in that bitch. Hey man, help me. Look, soon as the police, I'd be like, hey man, Jamel Demons did it. Yeah, he's Melly, he a famous rapper. Y'all hurry up, he going down that road right now. Yeah, you want your phone his phone? I'm finna call him for y'all. I would have did all that shit. I would have set that nigga up. Hey, bro, remember that shit you did, bro? Bro, yeah, bro. I would have did all that. Hell yeah. And listen, and I wouldn't have been no shame with it, Dream Dog. Like, that's the thing. Like, cause I would have felt like you try to send me off, nigga.
Nah.
Look, Dream Dog.
Yeah.
Dream
For real
Dog,
though.
I've been telling y'all this shit for months now that nigga Bortman should have told. Now look what happened soon as the first day of fucking trial started. His lawyer throw that nigga under the bus, dog. They throw that nigga under the bus. So you gonna kill our two homeboys and then you're gonna try to paint me as the fucking murderer. And I'm gonna tell you this too, bro. I don't like to say he gonna get off because I don't believe he gonna get off. But just think about this: the same jurisdiction that's prosecuting Melly gonna prosecute Portland. Lord forbid he get out of that shit. They're gonna come down on Portland with the fullest extent of the law. You think they're gonna let two of them go? No. Hell no. So think about this. That nigga done sent you off, bro. You got sent off 2 times. You sent your own self off. Damn fool. I bet I would have told. I ain't give a fuck. I would have been broke and free. Fuck them BBs.
And for the people who think that you can just, bro, you can't just show up to a hospital with 2 dead bodies and not say anything to the police. You have to give a statement.
Right.
Right. And Melly do that too, but he didn't want to be the person to give no statement.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised neither one of them have flipped on the other up until now.
Me too. I've been thought Bortman was gonna tell. I'm like, damn, I've been saying, I'm like, but that nigga Bortman gonna tell. But he didn't. That dumb bitch stank feet motherfucker didn't tell, did it?
Well, highlight Kenny's what Kenny just said. Highlight her comment.
What shit, right? Okay. Oh, Kenny say, just saw the Twitter, the motion for mistrial was denied, trying to confirm it's real. Oh,
wow.
Oh, would they do it on? Would they do it today? I don't know.
I thought it was tomorrow.
Would they do it today?
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all tell me how it works. Y'all give me some game.
I'm asking.
They might. Today's supposed to be a holiday.
I don't know.
Yeah, since when was Juneteenth a holiday?
Academic pulled it up
2 years ago.
Yeah, Academic pulled it up. It's his fucking holiday. It is a fucking holiday.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they fucked me up with that too. Yeah, he pulled it up on his live.
That's wild.
Yeah, shit.
That is wild.
Shit. Yeah, they made it a holiday.
We got to do something.
But I don't believe that the judge is gonna grant the motion for mistrial either, because I wouldn't. Because okay, I've seen. Is it grounds for a mistrial? Yes, definitely. This lady was, she was on one. That's what she was on one. Yeah. She didn't get no fucks that day. But would I grant a mistrial? No. It's too much money been thrown at this case. It's been going on for 4.5 years. I wouldn't want to be the judge that this granted a mistrial, and look who look what we granted a mistrial for. She ain't even an eyewitness, and like Academic said, she just somebody that saw. She just somebody that they trying to get a statement in. Now, if it had been an eyewitness, then yeah, but I would let them beat it. I would let him come back and try to beat it on appeal. Me personally, I would proceed with put it this way. If it was me and you, our black ass in there, they wouldn't grant us no goddamn mistrial. You feel what I'm saying? They'll keep on, and we have to appeal this shit. And that's what I think gonna happen. This case too high profile for them to stop on the 5th day or 4th day with this type of shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell no. It's too much taxpayers' money being thrown at this. You know what I mean? And who knows? I don't know. I don't know how much more money Melly got. He probably don't want no mistrial either. He probably feel like he winning, so he gonna be like, man, hell no. But they had to ask for one though. The lawyers had asked for one so they could file an appeal if he when he's found guilty. Which was
yeah, that's good grounds for an appeal. So that's their backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
And now they actually have like good grounds for appeal, because like if he would have got convicted, they was gonna appeal it anyway.
Definitely.
But they got a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which amendment it is. I think it's the 7th Amendment.
Which one? Which amendment? Now. Nephew, I can't hear nephew. You must nephew. I think you had bad service, Neff. You hear him, Dream Doll?
It sounded kind of choppy when he was talking.
Yeah, you can come up, Nunu. You always welcome to come up, Nunu. Oh, she talking about may I come up? You know damn well you can come up anytime, Nunu.
Come up, Nunu.
Right, Nunu, you always can come up. What's Tanel at? She done dropped down too, didn't her? I ain't even know that Tanel had done all that.
I can't see the people because the 1090 Jake videos on here.
Okay, I be trying to leave it up there to finesse people to click onto it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when it just be us up here, you know what I'm saying? They'll just keep clicking. But if they see 1090 Jake up there, they'll You know what I mean? I'm finessing it. But it's just me and you now. Nephew dropped off. Shout out to nephew for real, man. She talking about me. She calling. You know, you is always welcome to come up, Nunu. Always. All you gotta do is be like, drop the link, Marita. Cause I ain't gonna care. As I done been letting people come up, I ain't gonna be letting everybody come up no more. These people be cutting up, man. They be showing out. Like my mama be saying, they be showing their natchy black ass.
Right.
PJ, I guess PJ left. He was fucking with me earlier. You seen him in the comments, Dream Dog, PJ?
What happened?
I say you seen PJ in the comments earlier. He was fucking with me earlier.
Yeah, I've seen his ass. I think he either got 10 pages or he literally got like some kind of cheat code
Yeah,
for YouTube or something. I don't know. He knows some shit I don't know.
Do you know that okay, all right, nephew. I appreciate you. I need to check the email. Battalion Bullet did tell me that you sent me something in my email, so I appreciate you. I just gotta go check it out. I ain't been in my email. They be spamming my email because I got all kind of job shits in there for jobs and shit like that. So I probably gotta scroll down it. But I appreciate you. Definitely I appreciate you. You know, I've been getting you shots out. Down there every episode. You feel me? You know, you part of the Squiddy, man. I appreciate you. And you always welcome to come up. Do you know he emailed Spoon?
Saying what?
Same shit, talking about threatening the man, all type of shit. He emails. I was on the phone with Spoon. He emailed Spoon while I was on the phone with him. I was talking to Spoon this morning. He emailed the man this morning. Man, that man crazy, man.
Damn. He really trying to get viral for real. Like I think that's what he's trying to do.
Well, why don't he go attack some people with a bigger platform? Go attack academic or one, because you know they'll put the police on his ass, huh?
Right? Especially sending emails with threats and shit like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna fuck with OG Percy. OG Percy will fight him. Shit. I see he made a video on OG Percy.
Shit, he need to attack somebody who's in St. Louis and see how that goes.
Tanel, you know, you're right. See how that go there with them boys in St. Louis. Them boys ain't bullshitting up there. Play with them. That's why I know he got to be in the house. Cause boy, them boys in St. Louis ain't with that shit. I know that, man. All right. But Tanel, I get Spoon probably listening because I told him when I was gonna go live, so I'm pretty sure he heard us. He said he might jump in the chat. Oh, he might jump in, pull up on us. But you know, he'll tell us what the email said. You know, he like fucking with PJ. You know what I mean? I don't even be studying PJ ass. I don't be studying no more. I just, you know what I mean?
Man, I'd love to know what that damn email said. I know it's funny as hell.
He read it to me, but I can't remember exactly what it said. Man, they got their PJ. I don't be studying his ass. I know what he is right now.
Little dude crazy.
He crazy, man. He crazy. He wants some attention bad. He some kind of way he missing his daddy or something, his mama or somebody he really.
His daddy, he said his daddy chose jail over him. He was crying about it in the chat and shit in the back.
Oh, okay.
He was telling his life story for a minute, trying to get sentimental.
Okay. Okay. Nunu says she leaving Starbucks. Give her a few. Okay, Nunu.
Oh, okay. Shit. Oh, y'all gotta try this Grimace shake from McDonald's. This shit smacking.
What they got in there? What is it like?
They said it's berry and vanilla flavored, but if you drink it without the French fries, then it tastes more like vanilla. If you drink it and eat French fries, it tastes more like berry. That shit's smacking though.
I might gotta try that. That sound like something I'll try that.
Hell
yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Super smacking right now.
But shit, I don't want to drive as far as I'd have to go to McDonald's, the one that they had literally right up the street from me. They tow it down and they rebuilding it. So I'd have to go too damn far to go to McDonald's now. It ain't worth it for me.
Hey, Dream Doll, I heard you tell the children.
I was so mad. I saw the the mic was still on. I was like, fuck. I was yelling at my dogs and shit, really, because they was trying to jump my cat. And my cat tried to jump the dogs, and they all doing
Yeah.
fucking much.
I thought it was a children. I say, look at, I say, Drew, not touch the damn children.
Girl, don't
These
feel
my
bad.
kids too.
My dog started barking all extra damn loud because somebody dropped a package off. I think it had to be Amazon. And I mean, when I say barking loud, I mean barking loud. For that little thing to be so small, he has a huge damn bark.
I think the couple has dropped a video. I thought I seen them drop a video.
I don't think it's a new one.
It wasn't? Okay, it might have was an old one. Let me see.
Yeah.
But I watch a channel called KB Goes Live. And he does, or he had an attorney on yesterday to do a synopsis of basically a whole week of the trial. It was really good. It was really good. I think I emailed it to you, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I just seen your email. Let me go look. Because I was just looking on at that thing, Nunu sent me, and I seen you had emailed me. I thought it was a correspondence from what we had talked earlier, but I ain't opened it. But let me check it out. Let me check it out.
But yeah, one of them.
Hey, babe.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it right there.
Let's see what they got going on.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's KB and we locked in. Now let's jump into it. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all of the evidence basically from week 1 of the YNW Melly trial. And I also have a special guest, an expert, if you will, with me in this video who will try to help us make sense of it all. So without further ado, let's go.
Oh, y'all be watching this channel. It's a Caucasian guy.
Yep, we do good videos.
It's been hours upon hours of courtroom footage, testimony from multiple experts and witnesses, and drama thick enough to make a Lifetime movie out of it. It's been a wild ride for sure, but with week 1 down, it's time to look back at everything that kind of went down during that first week to try to make sense of what it all means and the direction that this trial will be heading in the future. For this video, I actually brought on a special guest who may be able to shed a little light on certain aspects of the trial and provide us with some valuable insight. And that person is none other than America's attorney himself, Josh Sanford. So we basically did an interview where I asked questions about the trial and we kind of just discussed what happened. And I just want to say thanks to him before we jump into it for appearing on the channel. And if y'all are interested in his content, I'll have him linked in the description, in a pinned comment, and also in the title of this video. So you could just click that, go over to his page and subscribe, show some support. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this interview. To jump into the case, did you get a chance to familiarize yourself with it a little bit?
Very much so. First of all, I want to say this. I've watched all of your videos about this trial, and it's fascinating to me that you're telling people you don't have any legal training, because you are catching on to a whole lot of what matters, a whole lot of it.
Really, I appreciate that, because I just sit here and watch it, and whatever my first thought is, I say, and I worry about it because I don't have any legal training, and I'm always worried somebody's gonna get in the comments and say, you don't know what you're talking about, and so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
If you don't have haters dinging on you in the comments, you don't got nothing. I have not agreed with everything that you've said.
I got you. I expected that, honestly. I was telling my wife, I said, I'm a little bit nervous because I know that he's watching my videos now, and when I was making them, I didn't know that you were gonna be watching them.
No.
Okay, so to start things off with the trial, I guess we'll start with kind of day 1 of the trial, which is basically the opening statements. Can you just clarify for us what exactly the reason is for an opening statement and what its purpose is?
Yeah, so the opening statement is a roadmap for the jury so that when facts come at them during the trial, they have slots to sort the facts in. Because when you are bringing the evidence in, like through live witnesses or through documents, you simply can't bring it in a coherent narrative so that people can say, this happened at 11, this happened at 12, this happened at 1, and so on. So you give them the narrative ahead of time, and that's a way for them to understand the specific facts that come in later during the trial. Now, the problem is some prosecutors, especially if they are maybe a little bit inexperienced or a little bit in over their head, which I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you think this prosecutor is doing, but if they're a little bit in over their head, their temptation is to say, I'm going to promise the world to the jury. I'm going to promise them everything. I'm going to tell them exactly what happened, yada, 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 all the way through, and it's going to be great. But then when the evidence comes in, if you don't punch every button that you said you were going to hit during the trial, the defense attorney will destroy you in the closing argument. They'll be like, look, they promised you A, B, C, D, and E, and they gave you B and part of C, and that's it, and they're liars, and they haven't proved their case. And it's very, very dangerous for a prosecutor to do that. But the other extreme is where they don't tell you enough so that you can understand, or they don't pique your interest. And I don't think she did a very great job of piquing interest, but I want to hear from you. Do you think she oversold what she had?
For me, I do, just so far in the trial. Of course, we're only 4 days into the trial. So I do think that she oversold a little bit on what she was going to deliver, just in the sense that we haven't seen it yet. Everything that she said she was going to have, I feel like I haven't seen very much of it as far as what she said she was going to have in that opening statement. But in the opening statement, something I do want to ask about is that they said that they didn't say that they were going to prove that Melly held the gun or pulled the trigger. So my question is, can they win this case even if all of the evidence is, I guess, what you would call circumstantial?
100% yes, as to getting a conviction off of circumstantial evidence. But like what you've said in your commentary on the trial so far, like you want to understand, why do they think that Melly had a gun? They've not charged him, as I understand it, with conspiracy to commit murder.
Right.
I guess I should go read the indictment, but no one is talking about that. And the fact that he was apparently, at least according to the prosecutors, working with his friend to do it means that
There's conspiracy.
If they did murder them, they had to have been working together.
That's conspiracy.
So
right.
Then that kind of brings up the question.
Oh
for me,
man, you got a
if
good point.
this trial was to go left, on the double murder, could they double back and charge him with conspiracy to commit murder?
Ooh,
Ooh.
good question.
So conspiracy, the legal doctrine that you're talking about is double jeopardy, right? Like if you've been charged with a crime and you the trials, well, actually they can dismiss at any point until the trial is given to the case is given to the jury. So, and we have to talk about that because of this motion for a mistrial.
Right, and we will get into that mistrial here in just a little while.
Yeah, I actually do not know the answer to this question. Is conspiracy to commit murder a lesser included offense of murder? I don't believe that it is. So yes, I think they could go back and charge him again. The problem is it would take a very specific, narrow ruling by the jury, which is that that Cortland did it and Melly didn't. Well, I don't think you're going to get that. That would be like doing a backflip on a high wire.
Right.
They're not going to land that.
Okay, it makes sense. So Josh, how significant is the fact that YNW Melly's lawyer, David Howard, described the state's investigation as incompetent and incomplete, and he questioned the quality of the investigation during the opening arguments? How significant is it that he called it incompetent and incomplete?
If I were doing his job, I would hope that I said the exact same thing, because he is making the perfect argument. Because, as you know, Miramar's investigation wasn't enough, and someone had to come back in and basically clean up the mess they made. And someone had to come in and clean up the investigation, and that's potentially really bad, except, as you've noticed, this isn't a lot of forensic evidence. It's not a lot of direct evidence. It's a lot of circumstantial evidence. If I were the prosecutor, I think I'd be really tempted to say this in my opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, 4 men went to an escape room. They paid $20 each and they went in. And when it was over, 2 of them came out and 2 of them were dead inside. We don't know what the murder weapon was, and we don't know what the motive was. But only 4 men were in that box, and only 2 men came out. They're guilty of murder.
It would have made a lot more sense. That argument would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, because of the cell phone data, if I understand, I mean, obviously, we haven't seen it yet. But what I think we're going to hear is they were in such a remote location that no one else's phone was pinging from that tower at that time. And they know exactly where the murders took place. And all 4 guys' phones were there. And there really isn't time for Melly to have gone anywhere else. Like, he was 100% there where the windows got broken out and where that spent casing landed on the ground. To me, she's done her case a terrible disservice by not focusing on the fact that it could not have been anyone else unless you believe in, like, you know, angels and demons showing up at these at this on the edge of the swamp and killing people. Like, it didn't. There's only 4 phones.
Right.
That's how I would have opened. But I do, to answer your question, great job by the defense attorney saying, like, it was a botched investigation.
In the opening statements, the defense said that the prosecution doesn't have to prove motive. And I get it. But to convict Melly, what do they have to prove?
That's a great question. You know, jurors are people, and they want to know why something happened. And the problem for the prosecutor is that there really isn't actually a story that you can tell that is not psychopathic, which also gives a motive. Like, if he did it for fun, if he did it for a few $100,000, if he did it because someone bet him that he wouldn't, I mean, those are all inadequate reasons to you and me, right? I mean,
right.
You don't kill for those reasons.
Exactly.
And so if I'm the prosecutor, I take a long, hard look at whether I want to dip my toe in the waters of motive at all. Not if I can make my case by saying 4 guys went in and 2 guys came out and 2 guys are dead.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so the next question that I have is that this trial took 5 years to get started.
Why? Why?
That's what I was wondering. I thought people had the right to the speedy trial. So my question is this something that could have been deliberate? Like, for example, the defense basically gives the prosecution unlimited time to find evidence because they think it can help their case? Or is this something else that could have made it take this long? Is this normal for it to take 5 years for a trial to start?
So, you know, he's been detained pre-trial, right? He's been in jail. So because of that, under the 7th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, he has only 9 months that he's allowed to be held absent either consent or good cause before trial. They have to put him on trial. Well, so I think he was arrested in February of 19, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it was March, but I think it was February of 19. By the end of 19, pre-pandemic, he has to have a trial unless there's some exception or extenuating circumstance, or he agrees to take extra time. So I haven't dug through the pleadings of this, but let me tell you that the judges are very, very hesitant to grant extra time to the prosecutor because their idea is, look, you told me in a sworn statement that you believe this guy did it. And I gave you the right to detain him. He's arrested. He can't get out because you said that he did it and you can prove it. And now it's been 9 months and you still don't have the evidence. Well, that's pretty rough. Judges don't like that. On the other hand, and more likely, Melly has consented to some extensions. And now this will never come in front of the jury, but if you're sitting in prison, and you tell your lawyer, yes, I consent to an extension while you like try to get more evidence or try to come up with some new theories or ask for more testing about this piece of evidence or that piece. To me, it says you know that you are getting convicted. And there's literally the only reason to delay is because you think that you might slightly raise your chance of getting off, and you're probably not going to. So you're going to be in prison anyway. So you might as well just sit and wait.
Wow. Okay. So that's a side of it that I hadn't even thought of. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not all of it, because you're asking about the delay. Florida passed this law, as you know, because you've talked about it some, where you can get convicted of a crime, but not necessarily not be put to death without a unanimous jury, because there's a law that now says 8-4 gets you the death penalty. And Melly's team appealed some aspect of that while he was sitting in jail. So that has added some months to it, as I understand it.
One more thing that in the opening statements that was said that was interesting to me is that the defense argued that the lead investigator only targeted Melly because he knew that being associated with the conviction can help further his career. So I've got two questions here. One is it a reasonable argument for him to say that? And two is, can we expect the lead investigator to testify and be cross-examined?
The lead investigator absolutely, positively has to testify. If the state doesn't call him, the defense is going to call him and make a fool of him. He has to get on the stand, or she.
Okay. Awesome. So they also argued that there were several other leads, like I think they named off 4 or 5 of them, that they said the investigators could have followed but didn't for whatever reason. He even said there was another person who straight up admitted to it on social media, but they didn't post proof of it. And I'm sure that affects, a confession with no proof. But if that is the case, that there's several other leads that they didn't follow, would that not be enough reasonable doubt inserted into the case for Melly to beat it?
So it depends on how airtight that escape room was, because we know when and where the murders happened, right? Well, no, let me back up and say, do you believe that the murders happened on the edge of the Everglades where they found the glass that matches the glass from the SUV?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think it would be really, really foolish of Melly to say that the murders didn't happen there.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm the defense attorney, I have access to all that same cell phone data. Let me tell the jury every single other person who was using the tower to which we were connected, that where it could have been them who was there and not Melly.
Right. And I actually think I heard her say something like that they were in such an isolated area that the only people there were them.
The lead investigator is going to have to testify and explain why they didn't chase those people down. And if the answer is, and this is, because I want justice to be done, I want the investigators to tell the truth and all that. If the answer is, look, we know every single cell phone that was attached to that configuration of towers so that we can exclude everyone except this limited number of people, then I'm fine with that. Although I'm also willing to concede that it's possible to commit a murder without a cell phone in your pocket. People used to do it all the time.
That's true. So this case could really just boil down to the cell phone data at some point.
Yeah, it's very, very damning for Melly that the cell phone data matches the time-stamped video of him getting into the car, because he can't tell the jury credibly, I didn't have my phone with me that day, or I gave my phone to someone else, because the data shows that when he left the studio, the phone was, on him or with him. And then they went straight there. It's really the tight box he's in. It's rough.
So there's another person that's actually charged with this crime too, and we mentioned him a minute ago, but he's being tried separately, and that's Cortland Henry. He's the guy who dropped the 2 guys off at the hospital. Is he allowed to take the stand against Melly, and what are the chances that he does take the stand?
I do not understand why one of them has not flipped on the other. I don't get it at all, unless they are like so tight that they would rather they both go down than like break that bond that says, even though you're the one that pulled the trigger, I'm willing to go to prison with you.
Okay, so I've noticed that a lot of evidence in this case seems to point towards Cortland Henry as at least being a shooter in the case, right? So, for example, the gunshot residue test, they spent a lot of time proving, I think 3 separate times they've proved that he had gunshot residue on his hands, but Melly never took a test. They have a statement from Cortland saying that it was a drive-by, which they think that he staged, but Melly never gave a statement. What's the reason that they seem to be proving that Cortland was involved, at least as far as I can tell, they've been trying to, what it seems like, prove Cortland was involved more than Melly at this point. Is there a reason why they would be trying to prove Cortland this early in the case was involved? Is that something we could expect later that they tie into something else?
I don't know what they would tie it into later, but at this point in the trial, they have to completely debunk the story that Cortland told that it was a drive-by. I think the broken glass at the edge of the swamp debunks that story completely. I don't really care that the police say that they walked a 7-mile stretch of highway and didn't find any shell casings or any glass. I mean, I think it's cool that they did that. That's very thorough and all, but like that to me matters way less than like finding a basically a matching shell casing and the absolute matching glass at the site where they said it happened. So
makes sense. One of the witnesses that got called up to the stand, I think it was on day 4, the last day, was YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend's mother.
Mrs. Holmes.
Yes. The prosecution called her up, and the very first statement that she made was that she felt uncomfortable and threatened by the prosecutor.
Yeah.
How damaging is this statement?
Well, I mean, look, she's in a really, really serious pickle because, as I understand it, I've not read her 2018 statement, but as I understand it, her original statement made it sound like she believed, or she talked to people who were close to the situation who believed that Melly did it. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, yeah.
Okay. So then she basically goes on the run. She doesn't want to talk to them anymore. They get a very adversarial relationship with her, and they take her deposition, which, just to explain, a deposition is where lawyers interview you, and it doesn't matter if you don't want to be there. They have the power of the court that compels you to sit and tell the truth. You're under oath. So she's not an idiot, but she really, really, really doesn't want the 2018 statement that she gave the police to be true anymore. So in her deposition, she doesn't recant it. She doesn't say, I was wrong or I lied. She just says, I don't remember. Well, you gotta be a grade school moron to think that could possibly be true. I can't I know that you have thought, I don't want to do you an injustice. It appears to me in your commentary that you think that she hasn't helped the prosecution. Am I right?
Right. I don't feel like she thinks she's helped.
Okay. So I think she has helped the prosecution as long as the 2018 statement ever somehow gets in. As long as it somehow ever gets in, the fact that she later says, I don't remember it, doesn't matter, because what she said is, I would have not intentionally lied in my statement of 2018, but I don't remember what I said. And so then she reads it and they're like, do you remember saying this? No. Do you remember these facts? And she's like, I don't even remember saying this. Like, it's wild. It's just so wild and so dumb. Oh, man.
Okay, Josh. So before she got onto the stand, the defense actually got up and told the court preemptively that they thought the prosecution was going to call her up to the stand specifically to impeach herself. And the prosecution told the judge that wasn't the case. But as soon as she got up there, it seemed like they attempted to do that exact thing. So my question is, does the fact that the defense preemptively informed the court before all of this went down play any significant role in the trial?
Maybe, maybe not. Let me ask you, let me before I answer, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the prosecutor got made a fool of during that exchange?
I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, she did. She ends up looking so dumb, and it didn't have to be that way. I think that she didn't know the rule that you can't call someone to the stand in Florida merely to impeach their own prior statement. And so all of her questions, like all of her thinking, were lined up with trying to do the thing which she was not allowed to do. If she had come in and said with this attitude of, I am just going to get you to confirm that you made this statement in 2018. Not whether you agree with it now, not whether you've ever contradicted it later, not whether you would contradict it today, but did you make this statement? I think they get the exact same effect. Yeah, it's that was trouble. That was trouble. It's the prosecutor looking pretty cheap right there.
And she ended up kind of losing her cool. She had no further questions, and then the defense got up and they asked her. They confirmed. They said, "You felt threatened. Who did you feel threatened by?" And she pointed her out.
Yeah.
And then she got back up and went back into her line of questioning. I just felt like it wasn't a good look for sure.
No, was not a good look.
Did you get a chance to see any of the expert witnesses, like the firearm expert and the crime scene manager?
Okay, so the one that you were roasting so hard was he had like a British accent or something.
Yes, yeah, the
Australian?
crime scene manager.
Yeah. Okay. So that guy, he was trying to say that bullets can change trajectory in the air, and it doesn't matter how tall someone is. They're all going to shoot from the same spot, or maybe no one shoots from the same spot, or you can't tell anything about anything forensic from the angle of entry from a bullet. It was bonkers.
It was. What got me about most of the expert testimony, and especially with that guy in particular, is at the end of it, the defense got up and basically said, "So you don't know anything," and he responded with, "You could say that." And
Yeah.
I thought that was just the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I don't really remember that, because when he said that, I died. I melted into the floor and I've never come back. That killed me. I can't. You can't say that. He's like, "So you would agree with me that you don't actually know a thing?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that. Yeah." I mean, that was rough, dude. That was rough.
I couldn't believe it. I said, "I know the prosecutor she's just got to be losing it, sitting in the seat watching that go down." What a terrible experience she's having, I feel like, in the courtroom as of right now. It may change though. We still got a lot of trial left. So by the end of day 4, Melly's lawyer and legal team ended up filing for a mistrial due to how the prosecution was acting. I guess that she tried to read a Snapchat message to the last witness up there in order to ask if she remembered the conversation, but the message that she read basically claimed that Melly had paid her off. Did you see that part of the video?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I guess the message couldn't get admitted into evidence, so the prosecution basically read it into record in front of the jury by herself. And that's what I guess caused them to move for a mistrial. So first, can you give me a quick lesson on what a mistrial is and what the different outcomes of a mistrial could be? Because I think there could be a regular mistrial and then one with prejudice. Is that right?
Yeah, so you've heard the judge say at least once, but probably more than once, directing the jury to disregard a statement or disregard a question, right? And that is this like curative instruction from the judge, like ignore that. Well, I mean, you and I both know that once you hear something, like you can agree that you're going to try not to think about it, and the harder you try not to think about it, the more you're going to think about it.
Yeah, you just can't forget something once you hear it.
Yeah, so those curative instructions, especially once someone in a robe tells you never think of this again.
Right, it makes you think of it harder.
That's all I can think about. Don't use your magic on me. So if you can't give a curative instruction that's actually going to fix it, or if you're the defendant and you think the curative instruction doesn't fix it, then you want to start over with a fresh jury. And that's what they asked to do. Now, it's not an automatic restart. The prosecutor has to file either within 75 or 90 days a statement saying that they intend to go forward with another trial. Now, it doesn't restart discovery. It doesn't mean that people can like start getting ready for a different set of facts or new evidence, but it just says, okay, we got a tainted jury pool. We're going to start over again. So you watched them say that.
I did.
And you're a layperson. What did you want to have happen? What did you think when you heard this?
Okay. So, well, it boils down to what I think about the case so far, which is I'm not sure if they can prove that Melly is guilty anyways. And the prosecution almost comes off as if she does have kind of like a prejudice in this case. And she may have. You don't know what she's been through throughout these 5 years. But when I hear it, I would like to see the prosecutor just stick to the facts.
Okay.
and then the defense refute those facts, because at the end of the day, they've got to prove he's guilty. I feel like it shouldn't be the defense's job to prove innocence.
Yeah,
It should be the prosecutor's job to prove that they're
Yeah.
guilty.
It's definitely not. But let me ask you a question. I don't know if you noticed this, but even in your edit, you retain the statement from the judge. He's already stood up. Okay, it's the end of the day.
Mhm.
He already stood up. He's about to leave, and he says he's going to consider the mistrial motion over the weekend, read some cases because they had brought him some authority about it, and he'll rule on Tuesday. And just kind of offhandedly says to Melly's attorneys, "You guys talk with your client about this." Did you hear that?
I did hear him say that. Yeah,
Do you know what that means?
I do not.
Okay, what it means is I think you're winning this case, and you'd be a fool to restart and have a new trial because you have a leg up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching the trial. I felt like the defense has done a fantastic job. I would pay them for the job that they've done so far. So let me ask you, who do you think has had the stronger case so far, the prosecution or the defense?
So there's so many unanswered questions, and in my opinion, and look, I'm not sitting in judgment on the prosecutor. I don't know what her case strategy is, and so I have some humility when I criticize her, but also, like, we're 4 days in and I still don't know what her strategy is, and so in some ways that is a little bit of a burn on her. But I would not have done it the way that she's done it. I would have started with the thing that places Melly at a certain time and a certain place. Then I would have brought in the witness who shows that the shooting took place at that location. And then I would have gone into the lying and the subterfuge, all of this stuff about dropping pins and staging drive-bys and all that stuff. But they haven't done that. They started with kind of I mean, it's almost like, man, this is going to sound mean. Oh, I'm just going to say it. This sounds a little bit like a high school student wanted to do a mock trial, and they got a list of witnesses from their teacher, and the teacher said, figure out what order you want to call these in and do it. And so she said, okay, well, I'll do alphabetical order or whatever. Like, it's not telling a story. I don't like it.
Yep, she does seem very inexperienced. And another thing that really struck me as odd is they had a firearm expert that came in and testified for, I think, almost 5 hours. He testified. And I couldn't help but think to myself, that has got to be just wearing the jury out with details.
Yeah, and what was he not talking about? He was not talking about a gun owned by Melly or Cortland.
Right. Yeah, right. At the end of it, they said pretty much, so you can't do a accurate test without the firearm, or at least without knowing what the firearm was that was used. And he basically said, yeah, pretty much, I can't perform an accurate test. And I said, wow, 5 hours you spent, boring the jury pretty much, just to say that you couldn't perform an accurate test. And that blew my mind. It just seems a little inexperienced to me watching it. And again, I'm no attorney, so I don't know. I'm just looking from the outside looking in, but it did seem to me like with 5 years worth of time, I would have expected a prosecutor to have a much more solid game plan for when it all started going down.
All right, I'm Googling Miramar Beach right now, because isn't that where this happened? Miramar?
Yes, in Miramar, yep.
No, Miramar Beach or Miramar, Florida?
Miramar, Florida.
Miramar, Florida.
Mhm.
What we're going to do is we're going to look up the population, okay?
Okay.
This is super relevant to, it's real pretty on Wiki. Okay, so there's 135,000 people there.
Mhm.
That means there's not just one prosecutor, not two prosecutors. There's probably at least 5 prosecutors.
Okay.
There is no way that she's the best one. There isn't. Now, it might be that she's the best one of that group of 5. She has a boss. There is someone out there who can say, this is not working for me. You're not going to get a conviction doing what you're doing. And if I were the prosecutor, honestly, if I were her boss over the weekend, I would seriously consider coming in on Tuesday morning and saying, Judge, I was over the line. I should not have said those things. I agree there should be a mistrial. Let's restart. Next day, file the notice, and then also get someone else in there. Bring someone who's prosecuted some murder trials before. Because I don't know. She seems like she's a little bit over her head.
I agree with that. So if is there a type of mistrial that can happen where they couldn't convict Melly?
Nope.
There's no type of mistrial that can happen where they couldn't.
That's right. I don't think it's a good strategy for him. I think he's winning right now. Now, all that is to say, I think he's probably getting convicted, even though it's not going that great right now. The text message or Snapchat or whatever where he says, I did that.
Yep. That is so damaging, isn't it?
Yeah. So the only way that he can get out of that as a confession is if he gets on the stand. He has to take the stand and run through a bunch of messages where he can show over the years he's telling everyone that he did every bad thing that anyone ever asks him about. Like if he always just takes the blame for some
bad things,
then you can like say, okay, that guy is just like that, whatever. But man, it sure looks like he thought no one would ever read that.
It does look that way. So that brings me to what will pretty much be my last question in this, which is, do you think that Melly is going to take the stand and testify himself before it's all said and done? If he was your client, would you allow him to take the stand?
So that's an unfair question. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
You cannot know until the prosecution rests and then you put on your other witnesses. And only then do you decide whether or not your murder defendant is going to take the stand, because it is a strategy of last resort in almost every case, not a strategy of first resort. What he does have going for him is that he's not the one that told the lie and said it was a drive-by.
That's true. He did. I don't think he's actually made a statement the entire time.
Except I did that.
Except for I did that, which is the worst statement.
And it does appear that he told Felicia Holmes's daughter something that made her think that he did it.
Yeah.
If I'm reading the situation correctly.
So one more question that I do have actually in regards to her is they went through what seemed like a lot of trouble to get her mom to testify. Why not get her to testify? Is that something that they couldn't do, or would it be hearsay if she testified?
Well, the daughter. They don't have a statement from the daughter that incriminates Melly. What they have is a statement from the mother that's based on information from the daughter that incriminates Melly. And I believe every time they've talked to the daughter about it, she's like, no, I don't know. No, I don't know. Nothing. So she's not a good witness for the prosecution because they can't impeach her with a prior statement that is very much anti-Melly.
Okay, I've got you. Well, this has been a wild case to watch. I'm gonna keep on covering it on my channel because it's like watching a Lifetime movie for me. I've never seen a court case that for me seems to go so left so fast, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep covering it.
It's not over yet. You got to keep eating your popcorn and stay plugged in, because the cell phone data to me is going to make or break the case. And especially if the data witnesses, and I'm telling you, you're going to claw your eyes out when they talk. It's so boring. It's so boring what they have to say. But if the summary of their testimony is there were only 4 cell phones pinging on that tower, that's so bad.
It all goes back to 4 guys went into a room and 2 walked out.
Yeah, and we don't know what the murder weapon is, and we don't know what the motive is, but we've got 2 dead bodies, and we know who did it.
Yeah, well, I just hope that justice gets served. I want to see the facts. That's all that I want to see come out of it. Whether he's guilty or not, I'll leave that one up to the jury. But I just want to see the facts of it. I know she said she would have a lot of evidence that I really want to see. I want to see the cell phone data. I want to hear an expert get up there and say that, they can place him there and they're for sure of it. And I know he placed a Snapchat call shortly after that and sent his location. So I would figure that with the cell phone data, once that gets into, showed to the jury, I think that might be the end of it. Things may start going the other way for the prosecution, but wow, I can't help but think she's done such a poor job right here in the beginning.
But let's assume that you're right, okay? And I think that you will be proved right that the prosecutor's case is going to get stronger. My question to you is, why start with such garbage, confused evidence? Like, how can you prep that site investigator and he still says, yeah, I don't know anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's like he didn't prep him. It's like he didn't know that he was going to testify.
That's what I thought. It was like you're supposed to get your witness ready before they get on the stand. You got to let them know what's coming to them. And I just felt like with pretty much all the witnesses, I almost felt like no preparation was done. They just kind of threw them up there and seen where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the worst thing that could happen for Melly is that his mistrial motion gets granted, because it gives the bosses who are behind the prosecutor that you and I have seen an opportunity to say, no, this is not working out.
Based on what you've seen, what do you think the chances are that the mistrial that they moved for will be granted?
So that's a fascinating question. It is not an open and shut, like, yes, you have to do a mistrial here.
Do you, okay, I can ask this one instead. Do you feel that the jury was tainted in any way from what you've seen?
Not necessarily, because here's what I'm concerned of. I think that juries can tell bad lawyering when they see it. And I think that they know that what they saw was more incompetent lawyering than it was like saying something that was unfair and not true.
Right.
Yeah. So the state should move from mistrial to honestly, man.
Yeah, they're getting beat up in the first half, but you never know. It could completely switch gears next week, if the mistrial doesn't happen. But I agree. I think it would be a bad thing for it to happen, because I think he is winning right now in court, which is, when you're winning in court, you should keep going. Okay, well, that's pretty much all the questions that I had, Josh. And before we get off here, I actually want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you. And I hired you guys' law firm a couple years ago to help me get custody of my daughter. Best money that I ever spent in my life was right there in that office.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you and have you on my channel.
Hey, it's been a pleasure to be on your channel. I don't cover a lot of criminal trials, but I do cover some criminal stuff. And anyone who's watching your channel who wants to go over to America's Attorney and check me out, see what you think. If you like it, subscribe. I put 2 videos out every week. Unless you count this one, this will be a third, but it's on your channel.
And so I do appreciate you giving me the time.
That's awesome.
And happy Father's Day to you again.
To you too, sir.
Okay, all right. We'll talk to you guys later.
What y'all think about that? Yo. Let's close it out. Let's see where we at. Yeah, what happened to the chat? Where y'all at? Everybody quiet? Yo. Oh, there go my girl, Dream Doll. What you think about that, Dream Doll?
I totally agree where he was talking about the dude who testified for 5 hours with the guns and shit like that. It was totally unnecessary to say nothing. And the part with the European dude with the uniform where he the trajectory dude, that completely dropped the ball. Both
Yeah, that
of
was Bill Nye. Yeah, I remember him. They even, and that's what I'm saying. I'm glad I did like that video. I enjoyed that video a lot because it kind of confirmed some things that we thought, and it also kind of let us know that we do kind of got a good idea, a grasp of what we're seeing in the courtroom, because just like we was going over her opening statements and what we felt she should have laid out in her opening statements. He kind of went along with the same narrative. And even this guy with all them damn plaques, did you see all those plaques he got behind him? I was like, damn, this guy got a lot of goddamn plaques behind him. He even felt like he alluded to that she may have been a little inexperienced or something like that. I don't know exactly what's her experience. I know she's been in there 10 years, but um Nephew for real did make a good point. He was like, so this case been 4.5 years. She's been in there 10 years. So who knows if she been on there for maybe 5 years and or whatever. What no, she still would have 10 years of experience because she would be doing other cases while this case is being prepared for. But yeah, but I did like that he did narrow it down. Like I've kind of been narrowing it down in my mind. It's like it's gonna be who do we think killed them? Portland or Melly. And they brought up the towers that they were in such secluded place that they were pretty much the only people using the towers at the time. I didn't even think about that.
Right. And that's like for cases like this in this, decade and whatnot, that's standard shit to bring up. Like that's kind of like those license plate readers and shit like that they got everywhere in Shot Spotter. Like all of that shit been out now, so that's standard stuff for them to bring up in court if it's available.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
And it's weird that they ain't been attacking it like that.
uh-huh. Tanel, what you think? She in there fighting with PJ, ain't she? I see her comments. Tanel, she focused on that. She on that chat. Um, but yeah, I thought the same thing. It's a great video. I watched this guy videos before. Um, he hit on a lot of key points. A lot of good key points. What do we expect to happen tomorrow? What do you think? What do you think may happen tomorrow as the trial resumes? What are you looking? What are you looking? What are you looking for, and what do you think may happen? Dream, dream, Didi. Oh, you over there, witty
Hello?
apparatus?
Hello?
You over there, witty apparatus, huh? All right.
No,
Let me get my phone if I can go check. Uh
no, what was the question? I was trying to let him know.
huh.
What?
No, I'm not just messing with you. I say, what you expect to happen tomorrow, or what would you like to see tomorrow, and what do you think may happen tomorrow as trial resumes?
I think I don't think they're gonna grant the mistrial, but I would like them to, just based upon all this goofiness. I mean, like it's a lot of shit. I don't like how it been how shit been playing out right now. But I mean, we gonna take it whatever they do. But I think they're gonna let them go forward with the trial. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want them to. I really do want them to grant the mistrial because even like I said earlier, like if they do, then that gives them the perfect excuse for an acquittal and all of that. So it gives them another back door.
Mm-hmm.
All of this
Mm-hmm.
is said and done. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to start from scratch, get a whole new prosecutor, just start all the way over. Somebody else could did better. Like a lot of people could did better. Just like they said, it sound like a high school class and shit like that. It's exactly like middle school law. Like the way she prepared the case, and she's not telling the story. Like if I had no idea about this case and I'm just hearing about all of this stuff from just what they're presenting, it's too all over the place. It's too up in the air. They're not really telling or showing that he did it.
Mm-hmm. I see this video just popped up on my thing. I'm gonna check it out. Hold on. Oh, this the whole video. Everybody gonna talk.
These other people shot at him. Like, listen to me. He was in a safe zone where I could have gave him a little room. Honor.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I see this video. I see this snitch video going viral though.
Yeah, everybody making a video on it between yesterday and today.
Yeah. Let me check it out real quick. Let me see.
Hey, yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live
Oh, this
and
King Erna.
direct. Yo, listen, right? I'm going to give y'all this in pure honor. He lost his honor the minute that he mentioned that these other people and confirmed that these other people shot at him. Like, listen to me. He was in a safe zone where I could have gave him a little room if he just had admitted to what he done wrong. That's it. Like the self-defense part, I could have like made room for that for him. You hear me? That'd have been like broke the rule, but not the code type vibe. But let me give you some understanding here what he done. He pointed out the other people that he said, quote unquote, allegedly shot at him. That puts his honor on the moon. Let me give you some understanding here. That's why it's important to say lawyer, please. I don't care if you got to say it to your blue. Listen, if you don't say lawyer, you might be there for the rest of your life if you just go ahead and talk for the rest of your life. But if you say lawyer, please, to your blue in the face, guess what? You're only going to be in that district for, 72 hours? I don't know how it is in other states, but keep your honor intact, youngins. You want to be in jail forever?
So everybody agreeing with it. Everybody agreeing. That was my first what's the name? I said the same thing. Like I told you, I've been in the streets and he was already in the streets. Like he wasn't, I mean, I understand the age. Like it was a rapper. I forgot what his name was. I think he's out of it was two actual rappers that they tried to crucify and say that they was snitching. I think one of them was the one of them with the Corvette guy. I can't remember, but I know one of them. I know, and it was one out of Jacksonville, and I like his music or whatever. But I think he beefing with it's hard to tell who he beefing with, but I can't remember. But it's a rapper out of Jacksonville that he actually said in the song. He was like, "Man, I wasn't even in the streets at the time when I made that statement or whatever." He was like, "Man, I jumped off the porch." He said in the song, I can't remember his name. If you know his name, drop it in the chat. But he was right. He was right. He wasn't in the streets at the time. So when he actually did cooperate or tell the police about whatever he told the police about, I can't remember exactly what it was. He wasn't in the streets at the time, so that don't count. No, it wasn't Spot him, got him. It was the other guy. It was the other guy. My kids put me up on him like 2 weeks ago, but I did actually remember this guy. Damn, what his name is. He made a song about it. He really good too. But he doing this to he with the shits now. You know, he in the streets now. He's let it be known. He like, I'm in the streets now, and since I've been in the streets, I've been doing. My record is spotless. But I say all that to say this: if Melly wasn't in the streets at the time that he made that video, I wouldn't have counted it against him. You know what I'm saying? But you was already in the streets. Once you jump, I want to explain this to every person or whatever. Was it K Shorty? It was J Dot. It was J Dot. That's who it was. It was J Dot. I think it was J Dot. It wasn't K Shorty. It was J Dot. It was J Dot, I think. Yeah, I think it was J Dot. And he was right though. He was right though. J Dot get a pass in my book because he wasn't in the streets at the time, and he did his thing. So then when he jumped out the porch, he in the streets now. He's held under the code. I would have gave Melly a pass had he not been in the streets, and he got into a situation, and then he told the police. I would not. I promise you, I would not have looked at that as like snitching. You know what I'm saying? The age doesn't matter. But he's not. But he was already in the streets doing street shit at the time. So you could be 7, 5. I'm trying to tell you how cold the streets is. 10, especially nowadays with what's going on all over the country with the spinning and the drilling with these little kids. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever they
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean? So age is like a less of a factor as it used to be, as far as like, because these little kids will kill you now. So once you jump off the porch and you into the streets and you conducting yourself as a street individual, you are held under that
Umbrella.
that invisible code, the G code. I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna show you how you know you held under the code. They got grown people that are grown members of gangs that are killing ops who are kids. You feel me? Like you got
Right.
25-year-old members killing 13, 14, 12 op members because they in the gang too. They like, shit, y'all off the porch. If I don't kill you now, you motherfuckers might grow up and kill us or whatever. Or you know, it's one less op to deal with. They killing them. That little boy, what his name is, he just got killed in Chicago. He's like 13. He was like a little rapper boy. He was smoking the weed and shit all on live and shit. Little bitty boy. He just got killed. He was a baby, like, you know what I mean? But he just got killed. All videos with guns and shit and all this type of shit. And who knows? He might have got killed by a grown individual, you know? Shit. So I'm just trying.
Yeah, it come down to, the old shit. You fucking with them niggas, you ducking with them niggas.
Right.
And, that's why I didn't give a fuck when they said, be slime a kid, or he young and this, that, and the other, and he don't know nobody. No, fuck that. He on their side, then you on their side. Fuck that shit. And same thing with PJ. I don't give a fuck that he said he was 17. I don't give a fuck you talking like you talking to brown people. So that's how we coming at you in the court.
Right. Straight up. And you know my girl Dream Doll, she got like 20 bodies. She got the most bodies of the whole crew in the chat. You know, she like people knows it, so you know she owned that. You know what I'm saying? You know, she owned that, you know. She like that. She's like that.
Take that.
Take that. Yeah, man. But I'm in this chat. I gotta do some things. And I'm definitely gonna get back on a little later on. I appreciate you guys for supporting. Shout out to Dream Dog, shout out to Sophisticated Nuno, shout out to Battalion Bully, shout out to Nailborn, shout out to Chick 1000, aka Chick 1K. Shout out Nephew for real for coming and jumping on the panel. I'm gonna check my email, Nep. I appreciate what you're doing for me behind the scenes. Shout out to Audio Crack 22, that's my guy. Shout out to Spoon, that's my guy. Go subscribe to this channel, Spoonful's a Game on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to it. Shout out to Unspoken Crime Mysteries or Unspoken Crime Murders. That's my guy too. He's also one of the first to drop the YNW Melly snitching video. He was definitely in the top 5 as well as us on this platform in the top 5. Who else is some more shots that I think I gotta give? I'm gonna give a shout out to King. DJ Academic, man, because he definitely keep playing the content, and it is an alley oop, man. It is bringing more light to the channel and light to the message and light to the cause and light to what Spoon is trying to let people know. You know, it's a lot of people that don't know this stuff behind the scenes that's going on with this case, and I'm glad that the message is spreading. My condolences to the families. Rest in heaven, Sack Chaser Anthony Williams. Rest in peace, Juvie Christopher Thomas Jr. My condolences to the families, man. You know what I'm saying? Those boys didn't deserve to die. I know I crack a little jokes on Sack Chaser, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck that he was in the alphabet community, to be honest with you, or if he was really in the alphabet community, I don't care. I just be cracking jokes because that's just what I do sometimes. But that shit shouldn't have cost that man his fucking life. If that's what the reason it was, we don't, I'm just saying. So I just want to just throw that out there because I be cracking jokes and shit. Sometimes people might think that I feel a way about that I'm not as sensitive about Sack Chaser. No, I'll fight for Sack Chaser too. You feel what I'm saying? So but yeah, hit that like button, share this video, and we will be back a little bit later on. I will be going live again, and I appreciate all of you guys.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you to go live again.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Dream Dog, and I'll be scouring them chats to see if your ass popping up. I was in that chat for real. You think it's a game? You better not go over that nigga house no more.
Old school Henry called me last night. I being that.
I was in that motherfucker. I was in City Nash chat last night. I said, let me see if her motherfucking ass over here.
That's where old school Henry seen me.
You was in City
He
Nash?
said, ain't no way, Dream Dog. I was cracking up.
What his ass doing over there?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. He said, I caught you at 4K. I'm like, nah, nigga, what you doing over here? What you talking about?
Oh, you was over there when he was looking at when he did the Melly Snitching video?
I was over there for like 2 minutes in the beginning.
Yeah, I was checking it out. I checked it out too when he was showing like the politics thing, like he showed something.
I don't even remember what was going on because old school Henry was on my ass in the chat.
Get an old school Henry. But all right, we're gonna go live again later on, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good day.
All right, you have a good day too. We'll be
All
waiting
right.
for you to go back live.
All right.